What's up, everybody? This is the poker coaching study session. Today, we're going to be looking at
A double board PLO bomb pot, and then we're going to talk about what pictures to put over people's heads to remember their styles. Then we'll play more poker. All right, double board PLO bomb pot. Brian,
Okay, so we are in, I guess, fairly early position, and then we have middle position and button, who the villains are. It
so
checks
that's
to me,
Ace King 2 6. Andy, why don't you play
Miss
the hand?
King. Yeah,
Oh, you're the ace king 2 6,
Yeah,
Ace King two
and you're in
six.
early position.
I mean, I'm like high Jack, low Jack, but
Okay, so kind of
it's kind
mid
of
position. How many handed?
eight-handed.
okay.
Eight.
Yes, so we go. So I check the flop. Well, it's up to you. It gets to you. It checks to you, and the flops are King three deuce nine seven
Well,
six.
I kind of don't mind actually betting here.
There's absolutely no
Um,
way I'm betting here.
Yeah, I like this as I really like this as a check.
Yeah,
I
this
mean,
is
we're in mid
Tell me why you want
position.
to bet. Tell me why you want to bet, Andy.
So I mean, obviously board one, I have two pair with the nut flush draw.
Hmm.
I guess I don't really have shit on the second board, which
Right.
which kind of helps me, makes me possibly want to bet a little more. I guess I could play it as a check call, but um, how deep are we?
it's a $10 bump out. I think I have 1500 in front of me. Most of the table has a similar amount in front of them.
Yeah. So if you go ham on this, what you're doing is you're trying to isolate yourself, trying to get folds because you have no value on board two, but you don't have anywhere near the nuts on board one. So
No.
you're drawing to the nuts on board one, and they may not get there. So you don't want to be pushing if let's say somebody repots you there, you just don't have any backup on board two. So that's why I think you don't want to push. I think you absolutely want to wait. And if it goes
You know,
raise and re-raise, you just fold.
yeah, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
But
That's my thought. What do you
just
go
something
on, bro?
that's super important that I've been learning more and more about in these bump pots is how important it is to have nuts on a board or to be have significant equity on both boards. Like when you watch Bar Hansen talk about this stuff, who is from what I can tell the best resource I have, him and I think it's Jane Endes will talk about how important it is to have nuts or very significant equity on both boards. Like they're talking about situations where you're potting from early position or middle position or you're betting from those positions is you have the what's it called? The unshared nuts. Like you have nuts that
Yeah.
just you're not getting quartered on.
Exclusive.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are never getting quartered on these, and you are generally these nuts type of hands are also very unlikely to be outdrawn. So
Right.
like
They're not
that's when
fragile.
you're playing, yeah, when you're playing one board when you're potting is when you have like just super nut hands, like quads or top boats where nobody else can have quads and like nobody else can have a better boat than you. It's like where like there's blockers on the other board that you know that you have the only boat here or
Yeah.
whatever it is. So it's like those are the types of hands that you're betting. Quads, straight flushes, even nut flushes, you're still not trying to push your equity from early position. You still kind of want to see clean turns. And then unless you have like nut flush and top set or nut flush and second set on the board or something like that or top two. Like those are the times that you can bet. But look, when you have single board, you're not pushing your equity with top and bottom pair to nut flush
Right. Yeah.
like
And so
that.
top and bottom pair isn't the nuts now, and it is unlikely to be the nuts on the river.
Yeah.
Right. So
So
that's why I wouldn't bet here. Okay.
from late position, maybe like if I was last to act here and everybody checked, that Bart might talk about like betting. You're basically turning your hand to a bluff in that spot and trying to pot it and try and force out equity. And then if you get called in three spots, you're just giving up unless you improve. Yeah,
Okay.
so here I check, and it checks all the way to the button. The button pots it for 80. It folds to me. What do you want to do then, Andy?
I'm gonna continue for sure.
I'm gonna call here. I don't even love a continue, which is kind
I'm
of
considering
crazy.
folding. I'm considering
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
folding.
don't.
The problem is here.
how's the button
You have the
playing?
nut
Is he
flush, you have the
kind of
nut flush draw, you have the nut flush draw, that's good.
Yeah, so the button is the only thing that gets me to call here is that I am like if I just had King Deuce, I'm folding all day because
Mhm.
King Deuce isn't even drawing to the nuts.
Yeah.
So with Ace Deuce as a backup for the nut flush, I'm much more willing to call here because I at least have a nut draw, which I still don't love here because I'm only playing to hit one board, win one
Yeah,
board.
I think I'm
Big
folding.
problem.
I
Think I
think I'm
should be
folding.
folding. I think fold is
Yeah.
I think call and fold are both reasonable.
Oh, I've got a perfect argument why you're folding. I've got a perfect argument why you're folding. So
We're only playing for one board.
you've got the nut flush draw, but you're getting nowhere near the implied odds or the express odds to draw to the nut flush draw for half the pot. That's the thing. The half the pot, you can't
true?
draw to one board with half the pot fold. We're done. That's the thing we
Agree.
got
I
to
think it's an easier fold if it's still multi-way. Like when he bets, you get one or two callers. Yeah, it's a snap fold. But I think heads up.
no.
Yeah, I'm much more likely to
I
call when
disagree.
I have callers in between.
Yeah,
If I have
because
callers in between, I'm
money.
chopping up more money.
Right. Heads up. Let's say everything goes perfectly. You get the nut flush on board one, and it stays the nuts till the river. You're going to get half this pot. That's not enough to draw to
Unless
the
I
nut,
could,
unless you
yeah,
can push him out. But
I
he's
agree.
shown, yeah, he's last position. He hasn't shown that much strength. But yeah, I think the simplification here is you cannot draw to the nut. You can't draw even to the nuts when you only have one board. Now, let's see what you've got on the other board. Do you have any backup? Do you have anything going on there? You have a six
Yeah,
A pair of
backdoor
sixes and a backdoor
spades.
flush draw.
and a backdoor. Where's your? Oh, you have a backdoor spade flush draw, but you're not going to hit your spade flush because of the two spades that are already out.
Yeah.
Because you can see all the spades you can
Yep.
see. Yeah, I think you have to fold. All right, but you don't fold, and I understand why. But
I
I think
agree.
this is.
I
I
agree
think
with
this
you. I
is
think
fine.
I should have. I think I should fold.
Yeah.
This also might be a little bit of the tilt thing of being like just running bad ball pots recently and
Mhm.
being like, oh, I finally have a decent hand here. Like,
Yeah.
let's try and win a bomb pot. Um,
Yeah.
so I call, and then two to my left calls. He's like he's the
Great.
cutoff.
We
He
want more.
calls, which is
More
which is
callers.
okay with me. That's fine.
Want more callers. We don't,
So now,
not or as it turns out, but we do want more callers. Okay.
the turn comes a king on
Beautiful.
board one and blank on board two.
Right. You have the second nuts on board one, and it is hard for you to be sharing them with someone because there's only one king left, and it has to have a three.
This
So
is the big thing here is that I think that if I am going to call, I need to be donking this turn. I'm in
Yeah, I can
between.
agree with
I'm
that.
so like in between on donking because when I still don't have the actual nuts is the
right.
problem.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I probably have the best hand, but if I get called here by both players on the river, I'm not fucking betting. Like I should be checking all day, I think.
Because you could because before the ace comes, because you could be up against king three.
King three, I lose to still, which is yeah,
Ooh.
and that's I think it's reasonable to be. I mean, at least just from what I've been
You don't
trying
want
to
to be
study and
repotting.
learn
You
about
certainly
the.
don't want to be repotting.
If I get repotted here, I have to be out of here.
Yeah.
But if when I think like just from what I'm trying to learn, there's not a ton of content on this
Right.
to learn about it. But from what I'm learning with Bart is like this is still a hand. Like we don't have anything on this board. We have the second
Right.
nuts on this board. We probably don't want to be going crazy here. So in my head, it's like okay, kind of called more or less the two pair was a backup. I wanted to hit this obviously because this gives me
Yeah.
nuts. But this is
Yeah.
my backup here, and I hit my backup, which doesn't make me thrilled
No.
because it doesn't give me the nuts. Like if I had king three, I think I'm always potting.
Yeah.
I don't have the guaranteed nuts. It's hard for me to be chopping on that, to be quartered on that, but
Yeah.
still I have the actual nuts, so it's
So I
okay.
have a question for you. So given what you have here, why do we want to donk as opposed to go into stay in check call mode?
I agree with you, and but that was my thing is I was kind of in between about donking
Okay.
or whether I should be leading there or if I should be checking. And the more I think about it, I'm like, if I was here and if I had some sort of, like, if I had some good backup on the board, you know,
Mhm.
like if I had something solid on the, say I had Queen Nine or my other two cards, I would be okay with my out and leading here
Yeah.
because I don't have the nuts, but I have the second nuts, and I have a pretty strong hand on the other board. It's not the nuts by any means. It's not even close, but I do have a redraw to the nuts with it. So I'd be more
Right.
okay with like a hand like Queen Nine as my backup. I think that I should probably, I'm in between checking and betting.
Yeah.
The problem is that I think I should fold the flop if I turn a king and I can't bet. That's my problem. Is
Right.
like, hey, if
Yeah.
I'm
So that, yeah.
calling the flop with Ace Deuce King two, and I turn the best possible card for me because the Deuce is a really bad card. The
No.
King is good. So if I turn a
Yes.
King and I can't bet it, then I shouldn't be calling here in the first place.
Right.
The,
And,
the underlying thing here.
and your best hand isn't your best card, of course, is not the king, it's the spade, because that
Well,
is the,
yes,
but
but
even
of my
then,
two pair is what I mean. Like of my two pair, my
yeah,
best card is
exactly.
my King, not my Deuce.
Right. But here's the other reason I'm back to folding the flop again, which is let's say you hit the even better card. Let's say you hit the spade on board one.
Yeah.
And now you guys are getting it all in. You're still up against the draws to beat you on board one, and you have nothing on board two. So you're still not
Yeah, I'm
happy.
being free rolled.
You're being free rolled.
It's free rolled by anybody that has two pair or a set on my board and has a
Exactly.
flush draw.
Or who just happens to have a pocket pair. All they need is a
Yeah.
pocket pair.
Yeah,
Is
they
what
could have,
happens when you have
pocket
the ace.
threes or I mean pocket fours and hit
They can
something.
have pocket fours and you can lose board one. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you can't do
agree.
that. But now you're here
And
and you're
originally when I was first, I described this to somebody that there's a guy that plays in the 1-2 game,
Mhm.
but I used to play with him and I've kind of started to realize that he's a pretty solid player. Like he's not stupid,
Yeah.
and he's in college. He's like a smart kid in college, and he plays in bigger games at school, but he just plays 1-2 when he's here. And I was
Mhm.
talking to him about the hand because we don't play in the same games anymore. And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's an easy call on the flop." And I was like thinking about
Oh,
it,
he's
and
totally wrong. He's
and
totally
it
smart.
completely. And I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was like, he kind of backed, like in my head, I thought it was an easy call. And then the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be calling here because even when I hit a king, if I don't feel comfortable betting my king, then what am I calling the flop? Like, I
Yes.
shouldn't be calling.
Yes.
Then it's not good. I shouldn't be
Yeah.
calling. I mean, obviously I feel comfortable if a fucking jack of spades comes off. Like, yeah, that's great. But I have the nuts, but I still have nothing on the other board to bet. But yeah,
Yeah.
so when I was talking to him about it, I don't think he's a bad player. He just doesn't play a lot of bomb pots, obviously. But I think he has a solid brain for
Yeah.
poker in general. Like he's naturally probably he's pretty decent at it. But
So
yeah, I was
there's two
talking to
things to
him
remember.
and I was like, yeah, maybe I can just fold the flop.
Yeah, there's two things to remember here. One is this is an easy call on the flop in the game when you're looking at it. It's afterwards with the analysis. Now it's clear. And the other thing to remember is this is Andy's hand, not mine. So, Andy, what do you want to do on the
I don't
turn?
really hate a check here.
Okay.
Just because if we had more on board two,
Yeah.
like let's say we turn the queen of spades on board two, then I
Mhm.
don't hate a donk.
Oh, I can agree with that. It's actually more reasonable. But the problem is, this is another thing that Bar Hands talk. We have the non-nuts on one board, and we have a big draw on the other board. We are better off checking than we are. We would prefer to have something like where we turn the ace or we turn the king. We turn something on the other board that gives us marginal made is better than when we turn a big draw. Because
Yeah.
when we miss our draw, we still always lose on that board. Versus
Right.
when we turn marginal made, we sometimes beat their shit that they're when they're playing our board and we're chopping our board or something like that, or
Right.
they have us cooler on our board. We have equity on the other board that they don't have, and we get to win.
Right.
That was
So
one thing
what
that he talks about a lot.
so what did you do? Did you donk out or did
Checked.
you so you
I
checked?
checked, and it checks through. It checks all
Okay.
the way through. Now the
Right.
river comes an ace on board one, and the
Mhm.
jack of clubs on board two.
Right.
So now I'm in the spot where I'm like, okay, I'm very, very likely
Yeah. So
board
Andy, what
one.
do you want to do? What do you want to do on the river? It's your first to
I'm
act.
still checking on the river.
You are? Okay.
Yeah, because give the other two people a chance to bat. Like, because I at this point I know like I for sure I only have one board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
that
guess so. If somebody else bets, I can check raise and try and bluff them off the other board if they're not super strong. But I mean, I don't. Yeah, I don't even know if I like that. I might just go into check call because if I check and then it goes bet raise, I can maybe think about. I don't think I can ever get away at this point. I'm
so
only beat by pocket aces on on my board. Which
the one
obviously he has. I don't know if I can ever get away. So
one
yeah, I still think I check.
one thing that Jane Endos and what's his face talk about is the power of in position, and when you're not in position, the power of betting is that you never get to win. Like when you're calling, you almost never get to win both boards because you're calling with to trap one board. So the power of betting is that you're able to push people off that have to call you. So I come out and I think I usually generally have the best hand here. May not have the nuts, but I thought it was pretty hard for someone to have pocket aces here. The only thing that they could have was I couldn't think of what pocket aces they had other than like stabbing with the flush flop. And I pot it. It pots I pot it for 240. Just I
Yep.
get called by the guy next to act, and then the guy on the button repots it
Of course he does.
for what is that coming? It's like 1200. I only have a little bit left behind. That's just he's all in, basically what
Yeah.
his repot is. And I was in a really like I was sitting there like fuck.
Oh, that's
Only lose
so
the
gross.
pocket aces, and I was sitting here and I was like, so what's hard is when you're hand reading this, is that
It's
the
so
nuts
hard.
change on board two on the
Right.
river more than they do on board one. So in my
Right.
head, he has the ace high flush
Right.
here.
Which he does. Your board read was perfect.
Yes.
Does
And
have
I'm
that.
like, so I'm probably good on my board. And I'm like, I think I have to call. Was what was going through my head, even though in my stomach, I'm like, I really, really, really want to fold right now. This feels super gross and I want to fold. So I make the call. It's like 1200 or something. The next guy calls and I get scooped against straight flush and top. And technically, that guy kind of got cooler. He made a fucking monster hand. He made not flush top, but
Yeah.
he was up
Right.
against straight flush.
He was only losing to quads and the straight flush.
Yep.
Now, okay, so let's look at one thing. Let's assume for a second that when this happens, one of them has ace king.
I
So
get quartered.
you're getting quartered on one board and losing the other.
So it's
Should you
like
monetarily, you're going to lose money. Which do you lose more money? Folding or calling for the quarter?
I
So
fold. I lost to lose 310 when I 310 of my up money that I put in the pot.
right.
Like if
Put
you're
in the
saying
pot.
full
Down
on amount of money I
down
invested into the
310.
pot.
Now, when you put in the rest of the money, you
Okay,
get
and if I
third
call
the
and get quartered with 3K, 3K's in the pot. It's more like 3,200 in the pot divided by two
right.
is what is that?
You,
32 divided by two is 16, and then I get 800 back. Put in 1K and get 800 back.
so you only lose 200. Now, well, let's make sure we're doing this right. So of the three, so how much was in the pot before the potting?
Before what do you mean? Before he repots it?
Before the river, how much is it? How much?
240.
240. So you put in
240 is
240.
in the pot.
240. So of the
Bet
two, so you're
240.
back a quarter of the 240. So you're only going to get back of that 240 that's in, you're going to say you're going to get back 60, right? I just want to make sure I'm doing this right. You're going to get back 60 of that.
Yeah,
And
60.
you're going to get back a quarter of the how much that you put in?
Or the 1K
1K, you're
or
going to
the
get back
total.
250. So you're going to lose 750, but you're losing 750 of it. You should fold. If you're getting quartered, you should fold and not get back your quarter.
Yeah.
Wait, but so if I get quartered here, there's the pot. When I get quartered there, the pot is 3,000 is like 3240.
Right. And
How
you're
much did he repot it
3240.
for?
you're counting the
When
240.
I'm saying all in, like when I get in and the other guy calls in, the whole full pot is 3240.
3240. You're gonna get back 800. And how much of the 3240 did you put in?
Much of the 3240 did I put in? I put in 1K, like 1240
1240. So you lose $400.
versus losing 240.
Yeah, that's why you have to fold even
Well,
quartered.
look, I don't know. I think hand reading got me into trouble here.
Yeah, no, it did. It's hard for you to beat there, but it's not hard for somebody. It's not easy to have aces, but it's not hard to have ace king.
Well, I was trying to think of what hand, but it's the one thing too is that when it checks through the turn, I'm like, if this
Yeah.
guy potted, like, how does he have? He doesn't have a lot of kings here. If he's betting whatever he's betting, potting it from the flop that isn't a flush draw and
How did
contains a king is gonna pot again on the turn.
right? Why that's true though. Why did he and by the way, why did he not pot? It's still the nuts, right? 8-10 is still the nuts. 6-7-8-9-10. 10 king doesn't beat him. Why does he stop betting when he only bets when he decides he's
No, this is, but that's no. Ace, queen, eight is fun. He's the one that potted it.
right? So on the
Player
turn,
two is the one who has 10-8, and it makes a straight flush on the river, who checked. Check called.
oh, okay. So he checked his straight on the flop because he only had one board. The second guy,
That's the problem is I don't remember his hand, but I know that he had
that's
10
fine.
8,
Right.
10 8
He was
straight
the
flush.
he was the caller. And so the ace queen decides to bet his nut flush draw and on the other board his nothing. He butts his nut flush draw and his pocket aces, which is, by the way, I don't love.
It's
But
not a good. This is not a good bet.
and then on the
It's-
turn, when he realizes he's now fucked on board one, that he can't his aces are not going to win on board one, and he hasn't gotten there on board two, he checks. That makes sense. All right. P4's play makes sense now.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. His flat play doesn't make sense, but
Yeah.
his turn check does make sense if
Yeah, it
you're
does.
going to bet the flop.
Yes. So you're
So
probably not against ace king on board one. Yes.
that's my thing is like if he
Right.
had something that pots it from that now turns more equity on board
Right.
one, why the hell is he checking it?
Yep.
He's not going to have a lot of like if he had
Yeah.
if he had ace king nut flush draw and he drilled the
And he
king,
drills it
he's
again.
probably continuing on the other board. He's going to probably pot it again from in position.
Yeah. I'm with you. So
So I
yes.
was like, he doesn't have a lot of ace king here, and he doesn't have like a lot of boats in general because there's like no in the games you're playing. There's not a lot of people that call with draws to boats and make boats and check. Like they almost always they're gonna donk or they're gonna continue if they already bet originally.
Right.
So it was weird. I mean, I thought that maybe I can get away from it. I think I should listen to my gut here because something in my stomach was screaming at me that you are just fucked here right now and you need to get out of here. But
Yeah.
it is what it is, I guess.
I
Last
think
hand
the
of the
river,
night too.
yeah, I think the river is hard. And the river didn't go raise, re-raise. The river went he check, check, pot, and then you, and then the other guy with a 10-8 just calls along because he didn't have more money. Or did it just
What do
on
you
the
mean?
No,
On the
Brian was
river,
supposed to act.
I
Oh,
lead
you
from
led.
240. I
Brian
pot
leads.
it.
It goes lead, call, pot, call, call.
Okay,
Call.
lead call
Guy
pot.
has the super nuts on board too.
And the guy with super
He
nuts
doesn't
on the
want to. Yeah.
he's the one who called because he doesn't want to he wants to make sure that two people are in.
Yeah, and then I have this is
Yeah.
a quick one. So I'm playing a bomb pot. I have pocket queens and random bullshit. I have absolutely nothing on either board. It checks all the way down to the river, and the river comes out of queen, which gives me top boat, the
Yeah.
top board.
Right.
So I have top boat, and the river on the other board brings in a nut flush. And the guy first to act, it, the next guy to act repots it, and then it folds to me.
Mhm.
Sitting there with no access to the other board and nut boat on the other board, and I just call because
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm trying to chop this guy who from because I'm very likely good. And if I repot it here, I don't want to force out more money to chop up because it's very likely that this guy has not flush on their board.
Right.
And that's probably the right play, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting him to
Yeah,
fold.
he's
And remember,
gone
there's a chance.
pot, call. In that other one, I think
A
then
repot,
then
yeah.
repotting is not a bad play because then
Well,
you're
yeah,
only
there's
you
only
might
one player left to act two in
Right.
between the initial raiser, so that's only chopping up another 80 versus if I repot and can make them fold and scoop.
right.
Yes, but let's take a look at the downside. Top boat is the nuts, but it's the shared nuts. And
No,
overboat,
it's not.
second
No,
nut.
it's not. It's the second nuts. It's not the shared
Oh,
nuts.
oh, you had the overboat, not the top.
Quads are the
Oh, right, that's the difference.
nuts.
Top boat and overboat are two different things. Top boat is queen nine on queen nine. Overboat is queen on queen nine nine.
Yes, it's queen.
You had
It's queen.
overboat, and overboat is
Yes.
dangerous. Overboat can be beat, and top boat can chop.
Yeah.
So that's just the
But the
term.
way it was played, I find it very unlikely that somebody had
Yeah,
quad.
yeah, it
It's
is. Yeah,
very unlikely that this guy's quads because this guy's far too aggressive and gets his money in
right,
way worse for
right,
him to have checked down top set.
sure. But when you've got the overboat on the one board, um, how likely it is that the two other aggressors are not that somebody doesn't have the other board, that they have a folding hand on the other board given the action, because you
What did you
dominate.
wait? What did you say?
So
Say that again.
you're against two players, right?
Yes, and I'm
You're
late. I'm
deciding
late,
whether
and it's first to act and second to act are the two
right,
other players in the pot.
right, and you're contemplating trying to get them off to get the full pot, which is
If
great.
if it went pot call,
Right.
not if it went pot repot.
Yeah. Yeah. Pot repot, you're just hoping not to be quadded.
Well, yeah, that's the one thing is I'm hoping I'm not against quads, but I was pretty confident I wasn't against quads the way it
Yeah.
played
You
out,
get called.
and then
Yeah.
and I was like, and the way the nuts change on the bottom board,
Yeah.
what made
I
pretty
agree with you.
confident that I
I
was
agree with
not
you.
being beat.
But that's why I think you don't want to be the third potter, because I
Well,
don't.
yeah, no, in that spot, no.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if it went pot call
Call.
folds to me, I think I can make an argument for repotting. Because if I
Yeah.
repot and get jammed on, I'm like, fuck, that that might be in a bad spot. But the
Yeah.
way it played out, I expect I'm good on my board often, very often, and that they
Yeah.
they're I'm
Yeah.
trying to force them off of their equity on my board and or on the other board so that I
On
can
the other
get
board,
so that
hoping
I
that
can scoop.
right. And what you're hoping simply is that the first potter doesn't have nutted equity on the other board, that he's got good equity, and the caller
Of
doesn't
course.
have nutted equity because he didn't raise.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not terrible. I think I like the call better than the pot, but I can definitely see the
And
argument.
that
Yeah.
I don't know. It's close. But all right, we can have enough of bump. I have some regular hands if anybody wants to look.
Okay. Yeah, let's do your regular hands, and then we'll talk about other stuff.
We have a very interesting hand that I don't know if I'm
Okay.
psychotic
Right. First
or
hand goes to Andy because Andy didn't really get the hand that he should have.
All right.
okay. This is
Oh, and
this is a straddle. Size it's very big. So here, open to 25.
25 is a straddle.
This was the straddle on the button.
Oh, button straddle. Okay.
Pause. Okay. You guys can light me on fire all you want. I'm usually very aggressive pre-flop. This is a very tight range.
I love your call here.
Then, yeah, given a very tight range, I mean we're on the cutoff. I don't think there's anything wrong with the call and set mine.
Yep, I
Either
understand this.
that or if we can three bet fold, but I really don't mind a call and set mine either, or call and assess.
So I have
So
one question
I've played
about
a
his
lot of hours with
range.
this guy. He has when he opens from early position, no straddle. It's very tight. When he opens with a straddle, it is a very fucking strong range 90% of the time that I've seen it. Every time it's shown down, it was like jacks or queens plus, not an
Right.
ace king.
So I have one question about this guy, which is if this guy has ace queen or ace queen suited here, does he fold to your three bet or does he call?
Ace
First,
what hand? Ace queen.
ace queen off and ace queen suited.
Fuck, I don't even know if that's in the range, but he doesn't fold to my three bet. No, he calls.
Then I like then I like the call much better than the three bet.
Yeah, if he has some raised calls here that or raised folds, then we can think about squeezing. But
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
his
hate a
range here
call.
is his calling range is jacks through kings. His
Yeah.
jamming
Right.
range is aces. Like,
So
it's
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
So
So then, yeah, I don't hate a a call here. And I mean, we're going multi-way with decent position.
Yeah,
This is also a tight range.
well, that's a very tight range.
Well, then we're glad we didn't three bet because
Right.
we are folding.
Hey, are we still folding now?
But I don't know if we're still folding now. I don't know if
Oh God, yeah, that's
might not be folding.
we got to call 85 to oh fuck. We almost have almost
We
a
don't have
good
the,
price right now with I mean fuck one pot size bet. We're damn near there. All right, yeah, we're gonna peel.
let's
Everyone
see.
looked at me at the table and said, "Well, you got to call now." And I was like, "I don't want to." But
You don't have to. You don't have to. You're getting,
I
well,
was
okay,
kidding. It was a Friday game though. It was like everyone, a
right,
lot of splashy play.
right. Bub, we were set mining on the flop. We're still set mining. We were not playing
I
our
like it,
set
Dean.
mining.
Four-way draw to a bad set on a lot of boards.
True.
Okay.
Okay, this guy's
Oh,
straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn,
yeah.
Andy. I'm assuming you want to check in
Oh,
flow.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I ain't no dummy.
There's
This is where
still
you
eight
guys.
down. Whoever has an eight, whatever weirdo has pocket sevens or pocket eights on the flop in front of you is going to check them. So,
Yeah.
all right, this is good.
Probably gonna check him again. Oh,
Okay, this is
yuck.
bad. It was good for just a second.
Hey, don't fucking nail me, but this is my thought process. This guy is monsters under the
Checking, by
bed.
the way.
I'm not checking. This guy is monsters under the bed. The best hand he turned right now is ace.
That's true.
That's true
Okay.
because I know he's not checking his overpairs. If he doesn't
Right.
check his overpairs, he has
Right.
nothing. His best hand is ace king.
Yes.
His hands to continue is ace queen with the ace of clubs.
Hmm.
Those are what can continue. And I don't think I have a lot. I think that I can apply a shitload of pressure to ace king, make him fold ace king by the river if it doesn't improve.
You think you're going to have ace king to fold with only 700 left?
Yes.
Oh boy, I don't. All right, let's go.
Look at the board, dude.
I
That is
know.
a scary board for ace
It's a
king.
scary board. It's a scary board. I know. I'm just saying with that much left. Now, your analysis, I think your analysis is right. That the strongest
Yeah.
hand that he has is ace king here.
I
Ace
just
king with
think
the
we're
ace
not
of
deep
clubs.
enough.
Yeah, I'm afraid. But let's see. Let's play it out. Okay. So Andy, you're checking here, right?
Yeah, I'm checking.
You're checking with the intent to fold.
Okay. So
Right.
now I go
That's
50 here. I want him to call.
right.
So you're setting up an overbet on the
Yeah,
river.
The
that's how you
river is going to be a monster bet. I
that's how
can
you
tell you
do it.
that.
That's how you do
Yeah.
it.
And
I
I
love
also would really, this guy's a little bit trappy, so I would love for him to be out of this pot before I do anything nuts.
right.
Even though it's unlikely he's trapping at this point, I still think he can have some. I want
Yeah.
to go small and get him out of this pot. If he's out of
Yeah.
the pot, I'm happy to fucking go crazy on the river.
Yeah. Great. Oh,
Okay.
that is that is a great card. That is a
No,
terrible card. That is a terrible
no,
card.
I love this card, and I love that it's not a
Actually, not a
club.
bad card because yeah, fuck.
It's a great
Eh,
Love that it's not a club, and I love that the board is double paired and that this guy is terrified when he plays the game, and that
yeah.
when you bet fucking $700 on the river, people respect that shit in this game. Yep.
Yeah. You're
And we
represent
get
you're representing an eight and you're representing a flush. Now.
representing an eight most.
Okay.
But I double call, and the other thing too is that when before as this hand's going on, before this hand happens, I call, he raises, it goes call, call. Everyone looks at me and says, well, you gotta call now. I was like, I really don't want to call, but I guess I call and I get
Yeah.
in there. I mean, it doesn't look like I have a great hand. A hand that contains a lot of eights,
Yeah,
sevens, and shit like that. Not a lot of sevens, but eights.
right. The only thing I don't like about the set,
Pre-flop
don't like
speech
about
might
set,
change things a lot by, you were like, well, I don't really want to call, and they kind of convinced you to. That actually kind of because now the dynamic is you started with not a very good hand, and not a very good hand in this pot does have lots of sevens and eights.
So we get the 3 minute tank.
yeah.
We're sitting there like
He's got ace
trying to
king.
tell him, put a face of please call. What does please call look like? And then he face up, shares a king and folds it. And I was like, oh.
Yep.
We can have some eights here, Scotty. We got some 8-9 suited.
No, I'm agreeing. Dean says you're repping
Okay.
8-8 and 7-7 only. I said, no, you're repping any 8.
I mean, the
I
game's
thought that
playing
was a
splashy.
typo,
I have
and it
like,
was and you were saying we don't have any. Yeah, we have a lot of 8. We have quite a
No,
few 8s
yeah.
in here. We got
We have,
ace-8 suited. We
I
have
agree. Yeah.
and the other thing
7-8.
too is that I ended up winning a big pot where I opened blind on the button where there was nobody because it folded to me. I opened blind on the button and I had 7-2. And I ended up winning a monster pot with 7 deuce and showed it down. So this guy's got a little, maybe if he's paying attention at all, he saw that I'm playing. So I mean, I'm usually not. It's just on the button. These guys, I'm gonna outplay them because we're deep as
Uh,
shit.
Dean,
And
There wasn't a back raise. Back raise is someone limps re-raises. That's called a back raise. This was just a straight up squeeze. So what
Yeah.
8 flat first and then call the squeeze. So ace 8
I mean, we have
suited,
ace-8 suited.
it's 8 suited.
8-9 suited, 8-7 suited, all of which could have played this way. All right. We also have flushes that could have played this way. As long as he doesn't have the ace of clubs to go with his king.
Yeah, but we also have like Queen Jack of clubs,
Right. But I'm
Jack
saying,
10 of clubs, Queen 10 of clubs. I don't know
yeah,
about Queen
but
10.
it's nice. Yeah, but it's much nicer to have an ace there.
Right.
Okay. So I'm just giving, so we can have clubs there. The thing, the thing I don't love about the 7 is the 7 takes out one set of one class of nuts that one class of hand that we could have bet
Sevens.
with. No, it takes out do our flushes necessarily, unless you go through a deeper hand reading, do we want to jam our flushes on these two on
Oh,
this 2 paired board?
I
Maybe
think
not.
I'm jamming it.
Right. You're jamming because you know he doesn't have an 8 or a 7. That's not in his range.
Well, I'm not jamming. I'm not jamming it. Actually, I'm calling smaller because I think this guy won't call me with ace king.
Right.
Did
Okay.
this,
But
but
let's say you're playing it. Let's say in his mind that he doesn't see the jams are all bluffs and you're betting smaller with all your value. You're also betting bigger on the turn than 50 with a flush and bigger than 50
Yeah.
and 8. But he doesn't know that. Right.
Yeah. Also, that small turn back kind of, I mean, can appear to be
super nutted.
let's just build a slightly bigger pot with a super nutted hand that I want to keep all the ace of clubs in because a flush can't beat me at this point.
Right. You have 8-7, not just an 8. You have 8-7. You bet small here. That's still really small. Anyway, but he's not hand reading you there. He's just on the end panicking. So I really like how you set up that there was a giant bet on the end by doing such a small bet on the turn. And I really like that he didn't read enough into your small bet on the turn.
We get one through.
Yeah,
This
nice.
is a big pot for a bluff.
Right.
Take it.
And you were right and I was wrong because I said exactly he has ace king and it's gonna be hard to get ace king to fold with that. And it was hard, but it worked. Good for you.
No,
All right.
this is not supposed to be shown. I
Bob
guess
is
I hate.
Bob is next.
Whoops. Somebody messed up.
Is it me?
You're opening ace 10 suited.
Right. Okay, good.
Unknown player, don't know anything about him.
All right.
Okay.
No surprise that he calls.
Okay. Goes. It checks to you, Bub. You have no idea what this guy has. Don't look at it. It's not.
He has
You
a
have no clue.
set. I feel it.
Shut up. He doesn't have a set. You don't know that.
So, yeah, I mentioned this last time in multi-way. I would always check to the guy in position. So I would do this here as well.
This is just not a strong enough ace for me multi-way. That ace king, I bet.
Okay.
But
After you checked in position, I would probably bet a lot of turns. And that one especially.
Oh yeah, definitely betting now. You're fucked.
Okay. We get donked into
it's just a lead.
okay. It's a lead. So there is a straight. possible, but I'm not sure if small blind has like 9-7. So he actually is representing two pairs or sets, or maybe some strong draws. And now we are in a sandwich. I guess we have to uh, just call and don't raise.
Never,
Yeah.
never calling. That's a
Yeah.
0% option here.
Because of the flush draw?
I think he's gonna have combo draws. He can have straights. That's okay. It is what it is. I'm gonna own myself. I'll figure it out if I need to. If I get bet three bet all and I think I'm not good and I fold. But if I think that he has ace X that's gonna call, he could have ace X with diamonds. He can have like pair plus flush, two pairs that are worse than he can have plenty of hands that are worse than mine that I need to be raising against you.
Okay.
Also, I think a good reason to raise is also that the guy in position could have hands like king, queen, queen, jack. We don't really want to invite him. He could check back those hands on the flop, I guess, and now he gets equity.
I mean,
So yeah.
my thing is, I think he has a strong range when he bets
Yep.
into four players. So when I have a strong hand, let's build a pot. I mean, I think I can get away from it if I absolutely need to, but it's what it is. So, what size would you want to raise to if you were going to raise, even though you don't want to?
I would go like 140.
I think this is bad.
Should go bigger.
Yeah, I think I should be going to like 200 here. I mean, I'm trying to set up a lot of money going in the pot on the river in most situations and on clean rivers. I'm trying to get a lot of money.
Yeah, and
I had the best hand a lot.
you're intending to cooler ace 6, 8, ace 8, and the
8-6,
rare 8-10. But the
8,
ace
10, 8, 8, 6, 6,
Yeah.
10. I mean, these people are playing wide pre-flop. They're going to have,
Yeah.
they shouldn't have. So we want to
Okay.
cooler those hands. So we rate, I think this should be like 200 probably. When he does have like a fat combo draw or something, it's good to get max value from that before the
Okay.
river. But what is his?
So
You have never.
you're ahead now, obviously.
I think his call is also interesting because he he seems to be not to be too afraid of the board.
Mhm.
There are a lot of draws. If I was in his shoes, I would have re-raised.
Oh yeah, I would too. And that's maybe this is a bad flop, but he now checks to you on the river, and you have a boat now. What is his right?
After he called, I would put him on draws, some draws, and some ace X. Maybe what do you call two pairs? I would also raise two pairs. I don't know. Yeah, ace X and draws. I say that is what I would put him on.
But my thing here is that I don't like what I did. So I arranged him and said he's gonna have some ace X that gets counterfeited that I want.
Right.
He's gonna have. He's gonna have. I was like, he doesn't have a ton of sets or flushes. I think a lot of those hands the river when they get there. So I was in the spot of like, I think I'm targeting ace X. And I was like, well, if he has nut flush, he's not going to raise nut flush. These people are way too fucking packed.
They're not.
They're so scared. They are so scared.
Okay, then I can't because my guys are raising flushes. If you bet small here, they're raising.
Yes. Okay, maybe, but this guy's maybe I've never played with this guy, but I'm saying the average player that plays the way he does and the way I've watched him. Now, I didn't know this at the time. Most players at this game are so scared and passive that like I have guys they're like, well, there was full houses out there. I couldn't raise. And it was like they're like I mean they've said to me when I get like max value with a nut flush on a paired board, man, I'm surprised you didn't see the full house out there. And I'm like, oh, I didn't notice it. Like, no, he doesn't have a lot of full houses here. I have the fucking nuts. Like I'm base. I know he doesn't have a full house here often, so I get to fucking put all the money in. They're very passive and scared. So I mean that's why I can run. That's why I can overbet in a 3-bet pot with $400. That's $400 on the pot for 700 on the river and get somebody to fold ace king when they have top pair top kicker. I mean, that's what's good about it. So
when they fold someone, I would guess we cannot bet too big, but we also don't want to bet like half pot. We should go bigger than half pot. Anything
my-
that would an ace call, so something like 240, maybe 300.
I went smaller than that, and I think that maybe. So look, what went through my head is that the hand that will raise here and likely will raise is a boat. It got here. Like a
Mhm.
lot of their boats are going to raise. Their flushes probably don't, but a lot of their flushes donk when they get there on the river. So I don't think that he has a ton of flushes. And his singleton 10-8 is a hand. I was like, I don't think he has a ton of sets when he doesn't bet me, but he can still have sets if he was trying to trap like that, or if he was scared enough that I had flopped aces or tens or turn tens or something like that. So I was like, those hands probably re-raise. So I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking I should just be targeting an ace, like an ace eight that got counted, or an ace
Yeah.
jack that continued whenever I three bet. So like a stronger ace or like ace, something like
I
that.
agree.
A hand like that. And I thought that 200 is probably about the size for that. I didn't think it was mainly. I thought that I can't get super greedy here. Um,
I agree.
this board gets pretty scary for an ace. The
Deenit
obvious flush
asked,
brings in, or what's up?
Deenit asked if would they call the river if you just jam?
With just an ace?
Just a
No,
flush. With a flush.
that's the problem. Is
Or
yeah,
straight maybe. He could have 7-9, I don't know.
he could have 7-9. That's one thing. But would they call a jam? I don't think they're if they had a flush, they would call, but I reduced a ton of flushes when they don't donk.
Now I have
If
a
I'm going
question.
to stay consistent, I don't think he has a ton of flushes when he doesn't donk the river, because a lot of like they just almost always donk when they hit it on the river.
Right. So I have a question for you here. My line here was bet small so a singleton ace can't fold, get raised by all his boats, get raised by all his flushes, and be happy about that raise. Now, when you bet and you get raised, you're not considering folding because you lose to 7-9 of diamonds,
No,
ace,
lose to
right?
7-9 diamonds, I lose to 7.
Right, and ace ace. You also lose to ace ace, but you're
Yeah,
not
but it's unlikely he has ace.
right. Now, when he raises you non all in, are you jamming on the small line to get max value from his smaller full
Boats
house
and flushes.
and flushes, or are you calling saying, okay, good, that's what I wanted to have happen, but I have the third nuts, not the
I'm
not
gonna call because I think that I know I lose.
right. So
It's
you're not
possible that I have straight flush, just lose
right.
straight
So you're not
flushes,
so you're
and
not you're not jamming over their raise. Okay.
if he
Good.
check raises me here to $800, I mean, I'm gonna get over. I'm honestly not gonna feel super great, but I'm not folding.
Okay, good.
Because
All right, great.
there's
Well, no,
enough. I beat
all
pocket
bet
eights, 10-8, 10-6, and
Right, but
diamond
I think
sixes.
Scotty was
all bet
saying
like
like you lead out like
100.
75 here, or
100.
you bet
I'm not gonna
75 and he check raises to
400.
400. Are you ripping it in his face or are you calling?
Yeah.
That's what Scotty was saying. Like Scotty was
That-
saying the line where we kind of bet small to induce.
yeah.
That maybe we get a lot of his, and then I mean we might
Probably don't rip it on him.
Okay.
'Cause
Good enough. All right. I was just checking that. All right. Yeah. So, and by the way, my
it may
son,
sound crazy, but I probably don't rip it on him. People do weird shit in these games, so
yeah,
they can have
right. Yeah. So my
or it could
size,
be chopping.
yeah. Yeah. So just one thing to clarify, and my size wasn't 75. My size was the size that an ace was definitely calling. Target an ace and let the flushes and full houses check raise you.
That was what I
I
said was
was just saying, I
200.
mean,
Yeah.
if I'm using like BSTI here, I might go like 75 or 80
I
to
think you're
maybe
still
get some of their bullshit to check raise too, some of their
No,
bluffs.
they're
Get,
not
give them a
I think
fucking.
you're
bluff
leaving.
They're
extra.
not.
I think
But
you're leaving.
that denies all of what we know about these types of players in the game. Is that they're
Yeah.
they're turning hands into a bluff on the river after being check raised on the turn,
They're not.
or being in position raised on the turn. It's just very unlikely.
They're
So
not
it's like
doing.
I'm not gonna add that to my game
No,
against players that aren't doing that.
I agree.
That's fair.
Okay. So let's see. So you bet 200 and please jam. Oh my God. Oh my God. How wrong
It's,
can I be? Holy
and I
sh!
sat there and stared at it, and I was like, did I? I don't know. I was like, I think my thought process is good here because I'm
Hey,
like, I think he donks a lot. He three bets a lot of his sets. I think he donks a lot when he gets there with a boat or if he gets there with a
crazy.
flush on the river. So I think a lot of the time I'm targeting an ace.
What is this
Um,
guy doing?
that's what I said. I was like, what the
Oh my
fuck?
God, the level of passivity.
Yeah, I mean, it's impossible to get a value here. Probably Dean's line would be the best. Just jam river.
Yeah, but
You've
a
got
lot of the time,
This
that's
is crazy. This is crazy
no.
for your game.
I agree that maybe in this spot that I should probably adjust, maybe like step back a little bit and say, okay, his range was these things and he didn't donk here, which doesn't always mean that they don't have a super strong hand. But I'm
Right.
sitting here thinking like if we ranged him and we said based off of the way most players play this game at this level, we would say that most of his range here is going to be like ace X, right?
Yes. Yes.
It's not going to be a lot of sets. He's not going to have a lot of boats. He's not going to have a lot. So
Right.
I agree with this line, even though in this situation, whatever fucking reason, this guy, I mean, and even when I took the size, part of my brain was like, he's gonna raise, like maybe he has a flush here that he checks, or that's not an ace X flush. But let's say he gets here with a boat, I'm like, they're always raising a boat here. And
uh,
Yeah.
then,
to be
I
to
looked at
be
this and I was
This
completely
is,
wrong, obviously, but I think this is just how
I think this is
players.
atypical for your even for your set players.
Like a
I
flush,
because
I wouldn't have been surprised to look at a fhosh. That's like in my head, I would have no surprise looking at a flush right now. But if
yeah,
I was when I looked at that hand, I was like, what the fuck?
yeah.
and to be fair, he cannot even have too many ace X here, right? After his turn lead, I mean, I can give him ace eight, ace
He could
six,
have ace eight,
and
ace jack, ace
ace
queen. These people don't
with the
three bet. They don't three bet their strongest hand all. Like he could probably still have ace jack and ace queen here.
but
Yeah.
you're telling me this guy is check calling a full house on the river, but he will lead into four players with ace queen on the turn.
Yes. Yeah, they would. It's that wouldn't surprise
Yes.
me.
Okay,
Yes.
It's still a strong hand. I don't think that that's much different. Like they don't want
After
to
the
fold.
flop,
Like
the flop also went check, 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 check. Again,
yes.
any ace there they think is good. After the
Mhm.
flop goes check, 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 check.
Most
yeah,
players
but then
are gonna lead any ace on that turn when the flop checks through.
Yeah.
now, when
Now what
maybe
calls
he's trapping, I don't know. I was confused. I played another hand with him later on, and it made me realize that he's scared, passive, trappy players. What I know. So now, in hindsight, in this spot, when I'm playing against this player, I think like there's a hand I didn't bring it with me. Fuck, I set it up. So it's a hand where I flop top on with nines. And I check the flop because I'm out of position. It checks through. The turn comes and it gives me a boat with bottom pair. I go small to try and get value from all. There's flush draws, straight draws, everything was out there. I try and go small to target all of them because they're all drawing dead. And there's one player, the player behind me is super passive. Like she is just passive as hell. And she calls. So on the river, when the river comes, it brings in a straight and there's still trip threes on the board. So in that spot, like normally I would say most of the time both these players don't have a ton of strong hands here. I have to go small to get value in this spot.
Mhm.
With her, I like 2x potted the river because I know that she still has strong hands in that spot. And if I was bluffing, my bluff size would have been really small to fold out her flush draws, in between to fold out like her second pairs. And my value size was absolutely fucking massive because I think that she still has very it's there.
gotcha.
And
Let's move.
that's an adjustment I should have made to this player. But this is the first hand I played against him. So I mean, what do I know?
Yep.
But yeah, that's the difference. But that's all I had. Those are the only hands I had.
Okay, so there's one other thing on this hand though. I want to let's get into his head for just a second. Go back to the turn. So on the flop, he is trapping when he checks.
I
On the
mean, he's out. I'm the initial aggressor, but yeah.
right, no, on the flop, he's trapping. He checks the flop.
Yeah, but I
Didn't
mean,
dunk. I don't know if
Right.
it's
That's
necessarily
in
a
exactly
flow,
trap.
yeah, it's just like the way game flow.
no, right. That's what I mean. But he
Yeah.
doesn't. He. It's not like why didn't he bet his sixes? Because you're going to bet and flow, and he's going to check raise you. He's intending to check raise the flop. All right. The turn comes, and now he's going. Oh well, it's time for me to go. Great, I'll bet. He doesn't have. You don't have a lot of aces because you didn't bet, but I bet out. He bets small. You raise him. He thought at this moment that he was killing it, right?
With you would think
Unfortunately,
so, but when he just calls river,
right. No, that's what I'm saying let's look in his head. He bets here, you raise him, the other guy folds. So what we think when he called here was that he was going for the second trap. He's not trapping here. He's already scared that you have pocket tens and pocket aces. He's
yeah,
him. He shouldn't be, but he is. Otherwise, he has because he has only two lines that make sense here. Bet three bet with his sixes and get it in against you, right? Or go for the check raise on the river. He's either trapping now or he's scared. His river play says that he was scared now. That's what his
yeah.
mind. He put you on pocket tens and pocket aces here.
And I think as I watched him play,
Crazy.
okay, this is the guy to bluff, and this is a guy that we can make fold shit, but we also have to go when we have like strong value hands, we need to go. Like he's not, like if we have the super fucking nuts,
Yeah.
he still has a lot of strong.
Right.
We need to go massive to target those hands because he's gonna
Right.
get there with those hands.
Right. But also when you do this, I would not expect that a massive bet was getting him to fold here. He might have been he was
No,
to raise you with his pocket sixes. I don't think he's
he's
folding.
not folding. No,
Right.
he's not folding.
So
That's
his
and that
his check
that's my
stronger.
thing is, but that was my thing is that like I double cap his range is what I need to do because I did actually end up later on I double capped him because I saw the way he played this hand and I thought maybe
Yeah.
he's very passive and scared, so I went really small and then I went really small again and he check raised me and he like showed it and he flopped it trips like with the ace
Right.
kicker, so it was ace king and he had king
Yeah.
king
Excellent.
and he ended up and I was like
Okay.
okay this so I just need to double cap his range.
Sounds good.
And when I'm not bluffing, I need to go massive because he has very.
All right.
But yep, that was all. That was all I brought. I mean, I
Excellent.
lost. I had to switch computers. My laptop's a bunch of hands for us,
Mhm.
and I filmed my session too. So
Okay. Anybody
a
else?
whole
Oh, great.
bunch.
I got some
Anybody else got
hands.
some hands they want to
I
do?
got some hands, some fun, some what the fuck.
All right, let's do hand of yours, and your hand's going to Dean, and then Derek gets the next one.
Okay, Dean, we'll start you off with a
Oh,
fun one.
yay. Happy to see kings.
On the button at that. Who doesn't love kings on the button?
I don't
All
know.
right.
We're three betting.
What size would you like to go, Dean?
1, 2, 3, 15.
15. Wow. I went 11, but
I don't hate it. Whatever.
we get a cold call,
No, I
a
hate it.
fold, and a 4-bet jam.
Do you want to?
I kind of just want to click it. Let this guy decide. Just go to like 50 and let fucking
So-
either fold or
So I end up just ripping it. I figure I already got his little bit of dead money. Um, he calls.
Oh, great! Then it didn't
yeah,
matter.
perfect. Yeah.
And we run it out. And you ready for the
Oh.
reveal?
Ace five sword. Oh wow. Oh wow.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God is right.
I don't like kings that much.
It's a drawing hand.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We were set mining. We were set mining.
So with this on the flop, your jam makes total sense.
Flop,
You
you mean?
you
He's
just eat
pre-flop.
you just eat his equity. That's fine. That works. But I want to talk for a second before we move on about not jamming here. And by the way, a jam and a click raise is the same thing. It tells mums you're dead, right? You need to fold everything but the strongest hands. We know this. And then he's going to jam and we're going to call and we're going to have the same result. So no question about that.
Uh-huh.
But between the jam and the call, I'm thinking call here. Because you don't love letting mums in with an ace. You don't love it, but you're already up against 59 fives aces. The ace X that he has. And 59-5 is also blocking some of the aces from coming in with his range. So I think you want to invite mums in. Now,
But then we have a dry side pot too, though. And then
that's
how
fine.
is it
We
getting
have a
paid
dry
from
side
it?
pot. We have a dry side pot, but we have kings.
What would a click would
Yeah.
be? What, roughly 57? Yeah,
Yeah,
57-ish.
A click is the same as a jam. I hope to him.
Yeah.
I hope
Oh,
that
I
he recognizes.
agree. I agree to a studied player. Yeah, a click is the same as a jam, but to some of these droolers, a click is he calls, they brick the flop, we jam, they fold, right?
Yeah, yeah. If he's going to call more clicks than he's going to call jams, then a click is nice. I'm saying
And
that I
I
want,
saw like 10
saying that I want him to call.
click.
I think I want him to call. I think I want more of his money in there more than I want his equity out with the jam. That's what I think. What do you?
Was know about that. Like if we put pocket kings against his cold calling range, I don't think we're dying to have that idea.
Okay. Okay.
Like his cold, let's say his cold calling range is jacks, tens, nines, eights, ace, jack, ace, queen, ace, king. I mean, we're ahead of most of that range, which is good. But if we click it and he calls, he kind of gets to play perfect against us. Say he has like ace, queen, or ace, king, and he just waits till he sees the flop, draws the ace, and it gets the free roll us when he calls here, and then hits the ace and folds. Versus we put max pressure.
So you want to put max pressure on him.
Like make him call with ace king or ace queen if he wants to call queen.
Okay.
And because if we do the click and he calls all those hands, like I said, he gets to play perfect. He gets to wait, see the flop. Okay, I hit an ace, I call. Or I didn't hit an ace, I fold.
Right. Although his perfection is on a board like 9-7 deuce, and he has pocket eights, pocket nines, pocket tens. He'd probably go with it, right? So his perfect is fucked up the board.
He calls. Then it's like a three-way pot. Like our equity goes like way down to in three-way, and then we have like no side pot to like
it's
at all.
It's the same thing of why it's bad that he's trapping with aces right now.
Yeah.
Of that he's now aces are an 85% favorite against almost every hand, except for when you go three ways, they're not an 85% favorite anymore, 90% favorite, whatever it is. Like that's why it's bad what he's doing. So why would we do the same thing?
Right. I mean, it doesn't. If I call, he jams. I'm calling off.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like I can see that line. Yes, Scotty, I can see that line because then he might try that bullshit with stuff that we have crushed. Like, I don't think it's only aces that's doing that.
Yeah.
That's back jamming.
Oh yeah. And the weird thing is, let's say that 59 has more money left. Then I'm never, ever, ever calling. Then I'm always raising to kill mum's equity and to get all the money in against 59. It's only because all of 59's money is in that I'm considering it.
And the way, side note, these fucking short stackers are a large contributing factor to my current downswing.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Scotty. If somebody said to you at the table that I only call raises with aces because I have most people in the pot, so I can win the most money with aces, would you say that that's a retarded statement?
No, I would say that it's not. I would say that it's not the best. That it's not the best way to play aces.
Yeah, so it's a kind of the same thing. So,
but it's still
okay, I'm trying to win extra money here, and it's yeah, you're also reducing the amount of times that you win. So,
right, but again, but let me put it a different way then here. You've got a guy who's got a decent to strong range because he did the weird call of three bets. We don't put him on aces here, that guy. And we don't care when he has aces because you know, all the money's going in just in a different order. Because the other guy's equity is whole here. So think of it this way. You raised and he 3-bet, you opened to 3 and he 3-bet you to 11. No, of course you would go up top. No, I like the raise. No, I'm wrong. Yep, I like the raise.
Yeah, I think I like calling it does probably increase amount one potential, but it also dramatically increases variance.
Yeah, like it turns our hand into like the coin flip 3 ways versus heads
No,
up being dominated.
No. Here's the thing, Dean. Because the 35 guy is all the way all in. That equity is locked up. His equity is solid.
No, I know the main pot will be a coin flip though. Like if we call and they call, like a 3-way equity, we'll have like 50% against their 2 ranges, and that's still a coin flip.
But you're going
against 2.
So let me grab the screen here and let's this is no that I'm not going to get a good answer with that. Yes, you're right, but it's not your choice of going from getting them to fold. You when you say you're going from 80 to 60, you know, you have 80% equity against one player, 85, whatever, and you have 60% equity against the other two. The first guy's 20% equity is locked in. It doesn't go away.
The main pot. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So now it's only so you're
and now we have to try to get money in a dry side pot. And if like an ace doesn't hit, an ace queen is not getting money in. So
okay.
I have a question then too. If we were 400 big blinds deep right now, what would you want to do with the other guy? The other guy's all in for his 30, and we have 400 effective with the other guy.
Against this guy, raise.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I that's the thing though, is like I think if he was shallow here, I would want like so say he's got what did that guy jam for 30 big blinds?
He's got 10
5.5. You want
So
me to
if
put
we
it
were
back up?
shallower, I would like to jam. I would consider calling more deeper, which I don't know, actually I'm in between.
I want to call the shallower I am, the more I want to call because the amount of additional equity that I give him.
It doesn't matter as much because we don't lose as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. But I mean, it's really in between. I think I'm just always there's no fucking way. I think calling is just kind of ridiculous when there's the dead money. That's the main problem.
All right.
Is
just make his money go away.
I don't care, but I don't care if you call like when they have this range that they call with is pretty strong. So like when they cold call here, they generally have a decently strong range.
So maybe
And
they'll
whether
call.
they fold that equity or they call that equity, it's generally good for us. They usually have a strong range that we are ahead of.
Right.
So I don't give a shit if they call or fold. If they call, that's okay. If they fold, that's okay. It's
Okay.
either one's fine because when they're folding out equity against us.
folding out
And when they call, they're calling with dominated hands, which
Right.
is both things are fine. And I prefer to win more often. So I would say jamming is better.
Fair enough.
Bub put in the chat for us. We can take a look. So I'm guessing the bottom one is the cold call range. Oh no, the middle is the cold call range. Okay.
Middle cold call.
Yeah,
So
I
if we're
guess
dominating-
Now,
cold-
if you remove the other guys, remove the cold call range and see what our equity is. Like,
oh, it just fucking dominates.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. So now we went from a dominating equity to a almost flipping equity.
Yeah.
That's not
what
good.
I was saying too.
Okay. All right, let's see it now.
Next hand.
Well,
I
wait, no,
want me to run
want to
the
see
equity?
this. I want to see the equity real quick. Run the
Yeah,
equity.
yeah.
Ryan, I think deeper, like you were saying, if we call, I think calling deeper is kind of wrong too, though, because like our reverse implied odds, like
Yeah, I kind of switched that.
kind of sucks, you know, and we're like,
Yeah, I kind of
the
agree.
deeper
As I was
we are,
thinking
the less
about that, I was
I'm even
thinking that I was thinking that maybe I want to call more deeper, but the more I was thinking about it, I was like, I probably don't. I think I'm probably just racing all day across.
probably a
now.
little closer to what these short stacks are ripping.
Oh, no, but you gotta keep the same equity. You gotta keep the.
Yeah,
you
keep
gotta
the same
The
equity.
same.
All right.
Okay.
You gotta keep the same,
Remove ace
Good.
jack, remove ace nine and ace 10,
and yeah, there we go.
And
and
queen jack.
queen jack, king jack.
Yeah, he four bet ripped it.
Okay, and remove king jack suited. All right, leave ace queen in there. That's definitely accurate for a short.
But no, but we want to compare it to this
Okay,
equity.
yeah, that's true. That's
the
true.
important-
Okay.
Gotta be exactly.
Suited plus, and then king queen suited plus. So ace
Yep, this is
king
right.
off comes out, right?
He should have ace king off in the range, but he didn't. So take the ace king off out.
Yeah, we'll pull it out, but then we'll do let's do a second one
Yeah.
where we leave
Yeah,
everything,
it's
where we
just
put an
the-
actual what we think the range is.
Yeah. So against this range,
Can you move that? Oh wait, no, that's me that has that
this
on
is
the
what I
screen.
mean.
Yeah. So that's literally the exact range that.
Right. And this is what
So
I
we
mean.
go from a dominating equity to a that's
We went from
tighter too.
70% equity to 56. So we give up 14% equity by letting the other guy in. Okay.
Question is, how much money do we make then? I guess it comes down to the math.
Now,
We
14.
make
Now
more
let's
than
start with this.
14%.
So
But this is also inaccurate. Like if we go to his range, we have a more dominating hand. We have more hands that we dominate them.
right, and I also shouldn't. I shouldn't add equity. Shouldn't be. I mean, percentage shouldn't be added. Percentage should be multiplied. So I said it wrong. I should not have said 14%. That's the wrong way. To say it.
Go back to go back to your calculator, Andy.
Like,
All right, and then go to his range. Go the villain's range.
it's like 70% of the time we win this, like,
Okay, so let's say a
wow.
short stack range is like more like that, which I can agree with. That they generally are. They might jam. I would remove some. Okay, you know what? Ace queen.
This is probably fairly accurate. Maybe we get rid of the ace nine suited.
Yeah, do that. Um, that's probably closer. And then we run.
Gain 4% equity against that.
Mhm.
We gain.
We
Did
gain
it run?
equity against
Okay,
when we
there it is.
expand his range.
It was loading still. I didn't see it yet. Okay, so yeah, we have 74 if we added that to it, and we said that's his. Now go to the small blinds, or you can do wherever, I guess. Cut off doesn't really matter. And put in, let's say like do like fives to queens. Okay, and then let's do more suited aces. Do like ace king suited, ace queen suited. Do a decent amount of suited aces because I see a lot of cold calling with suited aces.
Do you think fives are cold calling a three bet?
It doesn't surprise me. It's a lot of pairs. I find it to be more pair heavy. Cold calls to be more pair heavy than
Okay.
Yeah,
other
like
things.
this
And then just
probably
do
looks
like king
decently.
jack. Do like king jack and queen jack suited. I don't like the fold suited Broadways.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. Let's say that's the range. And then we run it and at his range. Yeah, we go from dominating to flipping. I don't like it.
I'm wrong. It's too big a jump.
Yeah, we lose
that's- I
a
mean-
lot of equity there.
It's too big.
And I don't think we're gaining enough value. I mean, although
No.
generally the kind of player who is
Well, this
going
now,
to
wait, this might now
Like
support
50 big
actually,
blinds. If there's like
this-
50 big blinds, I think that would be pretty good.
but
So,
Dean, this might actually support doing it deeper now, calling deeper now. So if we call
Well,
deeper, our implied odds we have reverse implied, but our implied odds also are better because we have more stack depth behind.
but are we like
Um,
getting it in?
That's assuming that we get that's assuming that it's that when he has hands like queens and jacks and tens and nines and
The flop comes 6 high, we get value.
that we get a bunch of his money in there, as opposed
Yeah.
he gets a
Which
bunch
isn't an insane assumption.
no that'd be the reason.
you know,
Okay,
these players will stack off pretty willingly with pocket jacks in a 4-bet pot with on a 9 high board. They'll put all their money in.
So you could make an argument that the deeper you are, the more you want him to come in with all of that shit range that we do get outdrawn by sometimes, but that would be like we have
Either
to.
that, or I think now we can maybe go back to the idea, if we're like 400 bigs deep with mums, go back to the idea of 4-bet clicking 5-9-5-8, so that
Yeah,
we have a
that's
side pot
reasonable.
for him to
Yeah.
fight with. You know,
Yeah.
he's gonna fold out some of his absolute trash, but like he's never gonna fold his queens, jacks, tens, the ace king. He's never gonna fold that shit
Hmm.
to the
Yeah,
maybe, I guess.
I still think the simplify is probably better here. Simplify that we just jam here.
Yeah.
Is probably better than getting all fancy.
But
Yep.
Because
like
it's gonna
calling,
be-
if he had like 50 big blinds, if 5-9-5 had like 50 big blinds, like calling wouldn't be bad.
That's true too, because we
And,
just
like,
don't.
we could build a way bigger pot too, to like, and we can get it in a lot easier against.
So if he has 50 big blinds though, and he called 11, so like like he has 40 behind, or do you mean he still has 50?
Yeah,
Like
if he
right now,
he just
he
jammed
has.
50 here, like that's all he had, starting with
Yeah, I don't know.
fewer
That might
ace,
be
and
better
then we
though. Just
raise, then mum the word.
Myself and mom have the same stack sizes, but 5-9-5-8 has 50 bigs instead of 35.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
so
mean,
we're like looking at 50 right here, and we could just like flat the 50, hoping to get mum in for an extra 50. Because like right
yeah,
now we're trying to win like 74% of the time. We could just take down this pot, or 56% of the time get mum's extra 24 in, and we lose 44% of the time, like I think we just need more money in to like flat it.
Yep. All right, let's move to the next hand.
Ooh, this is a fun one.
I think the jam is the right thing. This is Derek's.
Derek already folded.
Where is Derek?
Derek,
Derek.
did you already fold?
Derek, you got jacks.
Big blind facing a rather large
Derek's
ISO
like,
from
in
a
my
fish.
game, this big ass ISO is ace, and I folded these jacks right away.
All right, if we don't, okay, since we don't seem to have Derek, Larry, this is you. Welcome to the game, Larry.
Thank you.
Finally.
Good
You
have
morning.
all
Good
You have all the
afternoon.
information you need.
Larry,
All right.
we have a
So
PFR of 8 and he has folded to 3 bets twice out of 16 times in 2K hands.
Okay.
what's his VPIP?
30. He is a 30/8.
That's
Does
bad.
it show how often Patman limps?
And
And
then we
40
have this-
hands on him, but Patman is I mean,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
what about a click? I'll do a shove. I think I like a
You wanna-
15.
you want to
Fold.
click to 15?
Yeah, 15, 20. I'll do a shove.
And then keep, and so you guarantee that Jupiter Jack stays in, and you make it impossible for Patman to play. Okay, that makes sense.
Larry, was
And,
your story if Patman
he's gonna
shoved
tell
and
you
then
if he's
Jupiter
got-
Jack folded?
He's gonna tell you if he's got anything, but he might still play aces, but he'll tell you if there's anything.
All right.
So
Let's give it.
I end up calling. Mostly it felt like a 3-bet. Like he has a really high 4-bet. I don't want to face a 4-bet. I don't want to. He never folds to 3-bets. His range is super tight. I figure in this spot, I know I'm not closing the action. If I can call if Patman is trying to get tricky, and he goes jam call, I can fold. I also know this guy will blast off post. So
Well,
Okay.
it's kind of a where you at
What if it goes jam
raise
fold?
here, right? If you go to like 15 to 20 and he re-raises, you can fold.
Isn't that
So,
actually a
I
spot where
like-
we go broke with jacks against him when he's so aggressive?
Say it again.
He's not that.
I would go broke. I would go broke with jacks.
100 bigs is a
because-
lot to go broke with jacks. I think
Bob,
I
look,
mean,
his
when you're playing
stats-
100 bigs, it's a lot to go broke with jacks.
Yeah.
We're
Bob, his
120
PFR is
bigs.
okay.
120, 123.
If you
Yeah.
have 40 bigs in a tournament, it's a different story. But at 120 bigs, it's too much to go broke with jacks.
Yeah.
But give me
Yeah, and that's what I felt. I had too much equity. Obviously, I'm never folding. I didn't want to because he has a lot of 4-bet bluffs. I don't want to have to fold to a 4-bet. If I 3-bet, his 4-bet size is basically going to be all in. Because of it was his ISO size that if it was, say, Patman folds and he opens normal, I am 3-betting. It was more the very large ISO size.
It
Yeah,
is.
I would prefer a raise. Yeah. I mean, I think a raise is in some ways old school. Where you at? I think he's going to tell you. Sometimes he's going to trap aces, but I think I prefer a click here. It is a very
We
awkward
know
site.
he's
I don't
not.
think that. Yeah.
But Bub, we know he's not folding to 3-bets, not because he calls super wide, but because his actual raising range is super tight.
Right. Remember, he's a PFR of 8.
Wait.
He's a VPIP
Wait.
of 30, PFR of 8.
Wait. Then why are we doing it then?
No, I called. I didn't 3-bet.
Yeah, I was gonna say set mine it then, because if he has no raising range, then his pre-flop raise is 8%. I know it sounds crazy, but just call jacks and set mine.
Yeah.
And does he play face up post flop when he has ace king and ace queen?
He'll blast off. I mean, his post flop numbers are kind of reggy, but
Okay, so if he'll okay, then we set mine jacks here. Like it's
Yeah.
I don't think if his range is super strong and we're just not he's never folding, he doesn't have floats that are shitty, then we're behind most of his range when we 3-bet jacks. And then when we call and we hit our hand, he has a super strong range and we get to stack off. And when we call and we miss our hand, we get to fold.
Right. And then when the flop comes Jackson below, we are going to lose some more money against his aces and some more money and hopefully figure out his ace king on
we
the turn.
kind of move him up to like a hijack range where jacks actually mix anyways versus a normal open.
Right.
So
There's one other good thing about the call here, which is we don't particularly want to invite Patman in, and normally your call does, but his oversized ISO makes it still unattractive for Patman. Patman could still have some folds here. You're making it easier for Patman to fold, but call, but it's still not easy. It's still 1-7. All right, so let's see what happens.
he was like, if he was a 35-35 and never folded to 3-bets, yeah, I would absolutely 3-bet this.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. Okay. So you
But
call.
Let's
Yeah,
see
so I
a
call.
miracle flop. 13% of the time.
And great, look at that. And look at that. The guy folded. That was fabulous. Okay.
So check the aggressor here. I would. He uses a large size.
The most beautiful flop we wanted to see, right?
No. We wanted to see a jack.
I know.
So I actually might go ahead.
So we're beating ace king, ace queen, but so what this guy's 3-bet frequency is what?
6%, but it wasn't a 3-bet.
It was an ISO.
Well, yeah, but I think that
It's
range is similar, don't you?
And they're similar.
Maybe a little bit wider. I think we can just exploit fold here without a heart against this 3-bet
What
frequency.
size did he use? Oh, dude, yeah, let's get out of the way.
I think I
mean,
call here with a heart.
Maybe
Fold
you
without a
call.
heart.
I
once
think
and fold three.
folding with a heart is better because we don't have now he does have
No.
draws that he's going to be betting.
Andy, so whether you call or fold here, the one thing to learn from this hand is it's always better to call with a heart here, and I'll explain why in a second. So that's the one thing. So let's play the hand out, and then we'll come back to that.
Yeah, the jack hearts when we
So I decided I'm going to peel once and
I understand
see
your
what he does.
Yeah.
And I kind of looked
Question.
at
Question.
King jack of hearts that he'd bet.
Something that's really important that we look at
So I
here
got-
is what is he when he raises? Does he normally raise his massive size and how ISOs over comparatively to a regular raise? Because his PFR might be 8%, but this range might be way stronger than 8%, considering that it's a
anytime he
big
opens or
ISO
ISOs,
over.
it's anytime he opens or ISOs, it's always big.
Right. So
Okay.
I So I think you need to call here, but
He
Larry's
always bets large. When he C bets, it's always a large size. Like he doesn't. He
Right.
only has a large
Well,
size.
what does he
C
do
bet.
on the turn
that's
when
what
he
we're
C
gonna find
bets?
out. Larry, you folded here without a heart and called with a heart, right?
That's
It's your
correct.
hand. Okay, good. But as it turns
Yeah,
out,
no
he
heart.
played on in this case. So let's take Larry to Larry to the turn.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
boo, boo, boo.
All right.
I don't think. Let me see. What's our SPR? SPR is like. I think I prefer. I mean, this guy is probably going to barrel turn. I don't think we need dunk here against such excessive aggression.
Right.
Three.
All right, you could just put it in. Put it in now. Get value from his hearts.
Oh,
Yeah, he had ace king, ace queen.
And I was kind of thinking, and actually, I think part of the reason I tagged this hand was for the pre-flop,
Mhm.
because I thought it was just a really interesting spot where, like, I figured we'd have some good discussion on whether to three bet or just flat.
well,
This is
question
the
two. How often are we doing this with like every pair against this guy?
every
Yeah, because jacks become
never.
every other pair at this point. And we don't three bet them. They just turn into a hand that we're set my like they're the same as deuces, right?
No, Brian,
I
because
mean,
what
I
it
guess
is,
they do beat
look,
ace king more
but no,
often.
it's not just that. It's on the flop of 3-4-10 when he bets, we fold out a lot of. I don't think we continue with nines and eights. And on
Some nines maybe, but like probably I'm
But we
definitely
have more
folding like
flops that we're able to continue on. It would be
right,
the argument for folding those hands.
right,
But
that's the difference.
I also have like why we're check raising here. I mean, if he is the type of player that I don't know, it's
I mean,
actually I
you could
guess with
slow
hearts
play.
it's
It's slow play
reasonable.
is fine, but
It
we're
just
fast
depends
playing
if he's
because
stacking off.
there's he's telling us he's got aces and kings and queens. He
His
clearly
range
had
tells
ace
us.
king or ace queen here, but a portion of his range is hearts that don't fold.
True.
They do
Well,
fold when they mess on river.
okay,
Yeah,
I completely
So
redact my
so
statement.
slow playing here is fine, but we are missing value from a portion of his range that's composed of draws, which also include for some degens ace king and ace queen, which have a gutter here.
right. So and another thing about Larry's line that's good is if he's not the kind of guy who bluffs the river with his ace king ace queen, because we're out of position, are we going to donk a lot of rivers when we take the call
But
line? No,
so,
we're going to
but the way he made it sound like he's the type of guy that is gonna blast off like across three streets with ace.
then the call is good.
Yeah,
Uh,
of course, in that case we can slow play, but
Yeah.
That's what that's kind of the conclusion I draw from what we were talking about there.
also
Like if he is, because if we're
If he's that kind
calling
of guy, we
jacks
want
on
to call.
if his range is that type pre-flop and we're calling with jacks on the flop, it's because we think he's gonna blast off with
Right.
ace king and ace queen. So that's the only reason we can call because the other part of his range is too strong.
Right.
So
also keep
then
in
in
mind
this
that his three bet is
situation,
6%. So that means when you look at what's composed of his three bet range, it ends up being a lot more aces, kings, and queens than what we used
yeah.
to.
So that would be my argument for why we slow play is if we're calling the flop
Well,
because we
isn't
think
our
he's
aces, kings, and
blasting.
queens, our aces, kings, and queens folding when we check shove turn?
If he's a good player,
Um,
they
this
are.
villain, not with this villain.
Right.
okay. Okay, then did we misvalue? What's the larger? Was there a larger portion of his range is over pairs or is it paired over cards?
When
Yeah,
he bet
that's
23, when he bet the 23 instead of betting big, I think his overpairs go down in range because his overpairs all want to get max value against our hearts that continue.
so then
When he dropped down to
could be
20,
an adjustment we make
yeah, he
is
stopped
that we check we
28.
call here when he bets smaller on the turn. We jam when he goes big because he's got more.
Yeah.
I'm just saying there might be a better way. Like we might want to like. This
Well,
seems
and
like a
that was
guy
one of
you
the things
play
I
a
was
lot
gonna
with, so we
say. Like,
might want to know a good like really adjust the way he plays.
what do we think about like a kind of clicky check raise here to like 48.
What does that
Um,
accomplish?
I mean,
Makes him stay in
it
with his
still gets extra value from some hands that still have equity. Like some of his heart, although his heart draws might start folding to the jam here, but
which
they're
we
never
don't care
folding to the
okay with.
clicky.
All of his hard
Um,
draws are combo draws.
Yeah.
True.
So he's
That's
probably
true.
not folding those.
I don't like a click.
And if he
Yeah,
does,
I think the click kind of like just gives him a good price to continue
Yeah, and then
with
he
those
shuts
hands.
down on the river.
Yeah.
Like he will
So
not
it's like if we're
continue.
raising it so we get max value from those draws, which we jam do. And if we and that's because we think he's got draws or I mean it's kind of I'm just trying to like how to like strategize against this we play against this play because I'm
I
actually
mean, in game, I was like, fuck, do I jam here? Do I check raise small? I was like, I don't think I have a small size given the size of the SPR. Do I call and hope that do I call and donk? Do I call and hope that call and check and then hope that he tries to blast me off on the river? And
I think your
I think
options
we
on turn are jam, like you did, or
call.
slow play and call. Just
Yep.
the-
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no
and
other
then I
options.
will then I would check river after I called turn.
If we call the turn, if we just call the turn, we get to the river. The question is like is how often is he tripling on the river? If he's tripling like most of the time, then we check to him.
But
Uh,
that's the
th-
reason why we would call, right?
yeah,
Because
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what I'm in between about is like the question. But I'm like talking about like I'm thinking of like a heart river. Like what do we do on a heart river?
Get
Check on a
probably
heart
get
river.
broke.
Jack of
I
Hearts
think
on the
we.
river would be.
I was thinking about donking a heart river because of is he going to bet thinly enough with his overpairs on?
Why would you dunk when the I
He
could
doesn't
see
have that many
dunking on
flushes
ace
in
or king
range.
of heart, river.
That's true.
But
But
why would
I
you dunk when the flush completes? I don't know if that.
because I don't think he has that many flushes in his range.
Okay.
Because his only flushes are he has two combinations of flushes of ace king and ace queen. So there's a larger portion of his range that's over pairs, that's more
It-
combos. So he has
that's hard to believe.
six combos of queens, queens, kings, and
Well,
aces that are
what are
now
you
that's
repping when
18 per
you dunk shove river?
He's got
um
he's got a third one. You didn't count ace jack of hearts, by
an
the way.
ace jack.
That will give
Ace
us
jack of
12.
hearts. So I guess so he has three combos of hearts and he
But he
has
does have
18
it. Yeah,
combos
you're
of
right.
other hands.
King queen of hearts.
King Queen of
I
Hearts is in
mean,
there.
all right, so if we give him more, so
Yeah,
we
those
started this
all make sense.
analysis that he has ace king, ace
I see.
queen, and those types of hands. We excluded all the other ones.
Yeah.
Now we're giving him those.
No. I mean, I didn't exclude it on his ISO. Oh, you
Okay.
didn't. Oh, you thought we
We kind of, I assumed our range that we were giving him was just far too strong.
Also, he is
Like,
gonna occasionally have a combo of eights or nines here that he just keeps barreling.
Okay.
it sounds like if he just keeps barreling, it sounds like we just need to check. We just need to be calling.
If he's going to barrel ace king and ace queen on the river, then the call is the right move. If he's going to check those back to us, then the raise is the right move.
So, I
Again,
mean,
and he's going to call off, and he's calling off his aces, kings, and hearts
Yeah.
to the jam. The jam
But
is
I
the
mean,
right.
here we can also see like how few hands get to the river with like triple barrel with 2K hands on this guy. He's
Mhm.
only had 4 opportunities to triple barrel.
Oh, then we check raise. Fuck that. We check raise.
Like
Four
we can see his
opportunities.
river C bet is C bet river, so that represents a triple barrel is 50%, but it's 2 out of 4 opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta we check
Okay.
raise them. I understand. Okay, now I would say that I like a check raise. That his range is very strong, but I don't know. Maybe there's a sizing we could look at. Like maybe some this on turns he takes a bigger size with his overpairs, and then we always jam. And then with his other shit, he takes a smaller size, and maybe we always just check call then and try to let him rip the river then.
I do think that
Yeah.
this doesn't look like an overpair when he bets 23 into 43.
Yeah, it's because you said that I think that maybe we need to look at his side a bit when we're playing against him in the future. But he only plays fucking 8% of
Yeah, so we may not
my
get a
hands
chance.
with him.
Okay.
Next hand.
All right.
This is Mr. Cold called from the small blind with aces again.
Right. Okay. So this is going to go to, so we're going to see if Derek is there. If Derek's not there,
I'm here. Yeah.
Derek's here. Okay, this
I'm
is your
here.
hand, Derek. You got fours. You could have had a set of jacks, but no, you have to have fours.
All right, we are in the big blind. We have two limps with fours. How would you like to proceed, Derek?
Huh. I think of fours as tickets or sets.
Great.
I don't think
we're
of them
checking.
as but on the other hand, I think that I have fold equity by potting it, right? So the question is, do I think these guys will lose their whole stack if I get a set? Because I'm not really betting the fours for value. So I think
we're
that
going to ISO here. What size would you go?
pot.
Which is how many big blinds? Because that's too small.
Yeah, but yeah.
Probably about 8. We're going
Yes,
8.
First, let's answer the
eight
question.
would be my
Stop for a
ISO
second.
size here.
Stop for a
Yeah.
second. Stop for a second. Let's do it in two pieces. Derek, what is a pot size raise here? Give me the exact
No,
number.
like I should say more than pot. Like we want
Right, I
to bet
know.
more than pot because
So
we're
give
out
me-
of position.
Give me the number that is a pot size raise, Derek.
Well, 5.5 is pottish, but we
Good.
want to bet more than that. We want like 8
Okay,
because we
Thank you.
want full equity from these limpers.
great. Okay, so I'm with you. That when we ISO here, it's 8+, and when we call, it's 0. Which do you want to do this time?
I could even see going 14 here.
Yep. So
Right.
pot plus, right? But
Or
which do
like-
you want to do?
So pot is the bare minimum that we're betting here.
So
So
do you want to ISO or do you want to check?
I think that we have both, right?
Yep. Which do you want to do this time?
We have a pot that, like, if we get our set, it plays well.
Yep. Which do you want
Right.
to do this time? Both.
But
Yeah, both,
we're not thinking about do we want to ISO or do we want to check?
yeah, both makes total sense, Derek. And we've already established that the ISO size is going to not be pot. Pot is 5.5. The ISO size is going to be at least 8. And I agree with all those statements. And
Yeah.
both are a good idea. Which would you like to do this time?
I'm gonna go 14.
Okay, let's see how you're going to play it.
We're going to check.
This time you took your check line. All right, let's move forward.
And that's totally
This
fine.
is fun. Were you here for the cold call with aces hand, Derek? This is Mr. Cold Call with aces from a cup, and this is literally a few hands after that.
No, I was not here. No.
Yeah.
Like
So
this
this guy might be a trappy limper.
like this is the next orbit, like literally a few hands after.
Okay.
Well, like if we're betting, we're bet folding, right? Because we have fours.
Well, you mean if he raises
unless they give
well,
us
if he
good
limp
enough
raises us,
odds.
we fold. If he limp raises us, we fold. Yeah, but
This is
Oh.
a beautiful time, a beautiful spot to check. And in the words of Scotty, I've already exploited them by letting me see a flop for free.
Yep.
you've already made money. All right.
What do you know? Joe got back from the rodeo show.
All right. What would you like to do on this?
We think we have the best hand here.
By fucking far.
So we have like draw city.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Obviously like 6-7 is happy.
Any
You know,
ace.
anything with that 3 is happy. And of course the flush draw with leaving all the high spades are out. So
Mhm.
we're definitely betting here.
Would you like to bet?
I don't know. We're betting like I like to bet here large. One, because I'm out of position. Two, because there's so much that we want to make the draws pay.
Gotcha. So what size would you like to go?
So we're betting
What's your large size here?
5. We're
Okay.
betting 5 here.
Okay. Overbet. And with the idea that that even though it's an overbet, it's only $5 to these guys. It's an absolute size bet, not a pot size bet. That's a good exploit. I like that. So we bet 5.
So is this live?
This is a lot.
No, this is 30 NL.
This is 30 NL. Right.
We get one call.
Good.
We boat up on the turn and complete a draw. What would you like to do, Derek?
Okay, on turns, I take the effective stack size, subtract the pot size, and divide by 3. That's how much I can bet if I don't want to overbet the river.
So that's just about 30, right?
Yeah. So if I bet 30 here, then the remaining bet will not overbet. When I shove the rest in, it won't overbet the pot, right?
Right. Well, it won't the size wise. Okay, sounds good. So okay.
So I think if you have a flush,
you're calling 30.
Yeah, I'm gonna extract money from flushes. I'm gonna extract money from 5s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna extract money from straights. But I don't think anyone has a straight here.
No, there's no straight here.
No.
So I want to maximize the amount of money that I have from straights.
Okay.
No, from
flushes,
5s. If they have overbets.
Right. So pause for a second here, Derek. So I agree with you. So you're going to say I'm going to make it easy for a weirdly paid overpair, because why did an overpair limp in the first place? I'm going to make it easy for a weirdly played overpair to fold, but I'm going to get maximum money from a flush and from a 5, right? That's why you're betting 30. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
So that'll make
that's a really small target.
Right, but there's another thing about this. If he has a flush or a 5 here and you check or bet small, what is he going to do with a flush or a 5?
He's probably going to call.
He's going to raise you.
Yeah.
You check here, he's going to bet a flush or a 5. If you bet
overpairs
here, like you bet 4 or 6, something like that, he's going to raise. So that's the one thing for that part of the range. I believe that part of the range is going to do a lot of raising here. And the rest of his range, the weaker part that you're letting off the hook with your big bet, you might get some of that to come along. So that's why I think you should consider check or small here, even though you have value. Your reasoning made total sense. I'm just saying, look at what that range does against your check and your small bet.
We definitely have a play for stacks hand, but we got to try and he's got to have one too type of deal.
Right. So that's why I think that's why I would deviate from what you said. Let's see but what you said made sense. It's a profitable play, what you said. I think it might be more profitable to go.
I was in agreement with Scotty and I checked, figuring he's going to bet over pairs. He's going to bet flushes. He's going to bet if he has ace X of spades, he's going to bet.
Yep.
And he checks it back.
Right. So he's weak. He was going to fold to any of your bets.
We get a beautiful, beautiful river.
Oh, this is so good.
The nicest river we could.
Now all the aces we're going to make some money out of.
Yes.
Now ace X and 6X are there. And all the flushes that we're going to play a little trappy, right?
Yeah. And we're
How big would you like to go? And I think on this board there is definitely a price where ace X starts folding or 6X starts folding, is my thought in game.
I guess 20. Like the thing is that we want to win 2 bets here, right? We don't want to win 1 bet. We want to win 2 bets if we can.
Right. And is the way to
So-
do that by betting 20 or by check
Well,
or by going for a check raise?
I kind of want to get, I want to bet enough that I can get the whole, like I'm thinking stacks, right?
Yeah,
I want to bet enough that we can get stacks in.
right. And
Two
I think
bets.
I think it's going to be really hard to get stacks in this situation because, so I agree with you. You want to get stacks in, and if he's got if he's got a straight flush or he's got quad fives, so be it. Fine.
Oh, I'm
But-
totally happy losing.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I agree with that.
That's,
Right.
that's
But
that's not a big deal.
for him to want to get be willing to get stacks in, he really needs to have a flush here. And he
Yeah,
does,
that's why I wanted to bet on the turn.
but he doesn't
Because
have
I
a
wanted to get stacks in.
yeah, but he doesn't have a flush. He would have bet the turn with a flush almost all the time. So I think you're getting I think your dream of stacks isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's how do you get the maximum from what he does have? And the best hand he has here is an ace.
So we
what-
want to get as much as possible from aces.
Right. So what does it
So how much is possible? How much would you like to bet?
We're probably not going to get stacks from aces, right? This
No,
is
we're not. We're not.
too dangerous a board for
Yes.
and we're probably like if we lose, if we're behind, fine. We're saying fuck it, right?
So how do you want to get the maximum money from an ace?
I don't know. We can bet 3/4 pot.
I think you can bet more. I think you can bet more than that if you're for the one bet. I think an
Yeah.
ace is calling.
Slight over bet.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If he has a straight, he's gonna call.
Right.
Oh, he plays. We're playing for stacks. That's fine.
Yay.
If he has a straight flush, good for him. Fine.
Great.
It's a straight flush.
Great.
Ah, well, we
Yeah.
that's totally fine.
That's fine.
But the thing is, like, I've had this weird thing where I've lost 4 consecutive sessions, and that never happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm starting to dope myself, like last year I never had a losing session. This year I've had 4 losing sessions in a row. So
So I have a question
But
here
I
on
think
this.
it's just
You don't play enough poker then.
Yeah.
what?
If you only have, if you don't have any losing
Yeah,
sessions.
like I read that Doyle Brunson said he wins like 57% of his sessions.
I'm like that. I don't know. I
Right.
play a
Reese
lot of poker and I
said
lose a lot
that
of
he
sessions.
wins like 54% of his sessions.
So let's look
You
at
are
this.
a 12 big blind per 100 player online. You are losing roughly 40% of your sessions.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's look at this hand for a second here. I agree 100% on our bet. We love his raise. Now let's go back. Let's take a look at the order that this happened. We bet. So if we go for the check raise here, which is also reasonable because the thing I was saying when it backed up, I said, so an ace will call our bet of 20. So 17, 20, all those are great bets against his ace. Will an ace necessarily bet this river? Probably, right? If you check. But if you check raise, an ace may not call you, and his bet is not going to be 17. So this is in the difference between the bet out and the check raise. So when we check here and he bets his ace because his ace thinks that we're weak, his ace is going to bet around 13 or 10 or 15 or something like that. He's going to bet smaller than we did. And we check raise him, and sometimes his ace folds because he loses to a 6 and he loses to a flush and he loses to a full house. So we played it this way. When he raises us, which we love on his raise, he raises now. Before we jam it, just saying, we're jamming because we believe that he will call his ace here to the jam and he will call his 6, right?
He will
He will
also
call all
call
his flushes.
the flushes, right? He
Right,
can
but
have
we
flushes.
doesn't have a lot of. We think he doesn't have a lot of flushes because they didn't bet the turn.
Mm. Yeah.
'Cause-
Remember, he's trappy though.
Right, I know. No, I'm saying us. We checked the turn, right? We bet the flop.
But remember, he's trappy. He also cold called a
You're
three
right.
bet out of position with pocket aces. He may
Yeah.
check his flushes here on this turn.
Right. Okay, good enough. So there we go. So yeah, we jam and we just run into the wrong flush. Okay.
I think
Right.
I think the correct play is to lose all your money here.
The order we were going to lose it in. I mean,
Yeah.
because here he's going to bet, I'm going to check raise, he's going to jam, I'm going to call.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's just.
I think if you don't lose all your money, you played it wrong.
Right. And here's why on this one, here's why I think you losing all your money on this hand is correct. And me losing all my money on the aces full hand is incorrect, is that you can win this hand. I could only chop. If you were here with well, there is no hand that's like that here. Okay. But yeah, so I think you lost all your money in a fine order. And I think losing all your money in the check raise order would have been also fine.
I think either way, or he bets the turn and
Yep.
I call and then
I agree.
check jam the river. Like it's just I am, once that 5 of spades peels, I am losing all of my money.
Yep. And you should. So
That's the
spectate.
correct play.
We have someone here named Spectating, and Spectating, if you would like to participate at all, you can do one of two things. You can unmute or you can type in the chat and we will give you the next hand and you get to have pocket kings and play them if you want. You don't have to, but you have the opportunity to have pocket kings. We all like
kings on the button again, and not the same pocket kings as last time.
All right. So, and if Spectating doesn't come in, then I'm going to take the kings and then we're going to do something else for a second. Right, spectating to 2, 3, 4. You can jump in at any time. Okay, fine with listening. Okay, here we go.
Anyways, spectating.
Welcome to the group. Come back or chat anytime you want. Limp, fold. Let's ISO to 4.5, 4 or 5, anything in that range. 5 is fine. Great. I might have made my ISO a little bit smaller only because this guy is a short stack. And so the ISO of 4 is enough, but this is fine. We get jammed on. Let's see what he does. We're gonna.
This was a tank, and this is our buddy from the pocket jacks hand.
Right. Yeah, this has got to be weird. Okay. So he calls. Fold. It's time to jam.
Obviously, we're shoving.
Time to jam. Yep. And B against.
Call. I'm like, he's got aces. Shit.
Maybe. Or queens. Or queens, or jack, or a jack. Let's see which one it is. Ace 10, ace queen. Great. Yep.
Goop a monster.
Yep. Hooray. Okay. So now I'm gonna change the subject for a second, which is this. This is gonna be about playing live and creating a HUD in your head. This is the HUD in your head thing. Make sure that Larry is still here. Larry is here. Unmute yourself, Larry. You're involved in this.
All right.
Okay, good. Everybody's involved in this. Which is, I want to know what are, 4, 5, 6, about 4, 5, or 6 things that we want to see in people and make sure that we know that they have. And here's some of them. Let me share the screen and I will put up a couple. Replace current share with this. So we just have a little. You guys are just seeing a little notes thing right here.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we want to know, do they open limp? Right?
Yeah.
That's important. We want to know if they have a limp and a raising range. That's super important. Because some people have just a limping range. What else is critically important that we want to look at somebody and always remember?
Here's what I think.
Yes.
I think I always want to evaluate this person top pair, top kicker, which means will they lose their whole stack with top pair, top kicker?
Okay. Do they overvalue?
If they will lose their stack with top pair, top kicker, I want to get into hands with them because they're not going to be around for very long.
Gotcha. Okay. So overvalue, top pair, and it doesn't have to be top pair, top kicker, just overvalue and just in general. It's overvalue in general and top pair kind of specific, but overvalue. Great.
Yep. Because once I see them overplaying top pair, top kicker,
Right.
I know I can go for the throat.
Right. Do they have a limp fold range, or are they limp call or are they limp callers?
Yeah.
The other thing I look for is, can they bet fold? Most people can't bet fold.
Right. So we're gonna with the place we're gonna see that most often, which is do they fold to 3-bets? Okay.
Another big thing I look at is, do they go thin on the river?
Okay. Thin on river. And does that also count thin on turn?
Yeah, I guess we could say thin on turn.
Thin on river, so thin on river, thin turn, a little bit of thin turn, but mainly we're looking for this. How thin do they bet on the river? And we're going to see that a lot. And so this is going to be and the mainly thing is sort of, do they bet thinly? Okay, good. Do they bet thinly? Great. I like it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
So the other thing I think is
Open
important.
sizings and maybe 3-bet sizings.
The other
something-
piece
Do they split split range size? Right. So what's their, okay, I got it. What is their open size? And does it?
Yeah.
Okay, these are going to be enough. So
And also the 3-bet sizing. I mean, some are just clicking.
okay, so let's
The
just
one
start.
that I found to be extremely profitable is when they face passivity, do they always bluff?
Okay,
For instance, I had one player when I were 3-bet aces and I was in position. I would always check on flop and they would invariably.
Right.
Oh,
stack
there's
off.
spaz factor. So you're looking at like spaz factor.
right.
Sure. That's
Okay.
okay.
Good. Spaz factor. Okay. Spaz factor. And then this is going to be the last one, which is going to be, we want to have some idea of, is this someone who always c-bets?
That's important.
Because we see that a lot, right? So I want us to be able to look at every player at the table and be able to answer these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's
Oh,
great.
I have one more.
Yeah.
Like very few people know how to play a short stack. So most of the people who are short stacked have below the max buy-in.
Right.
So do they know how to play a short stack?
Okay. And then
This
okay, so
one
we're gonna do
can kind of be, because I'm generally, until somebody proves me otherwise, I'm looking at short stacks as a fish.
generally fishy
Yeah.
solid,
Yeah, but some people know how to play a short stack. Do you know what I mean?
Fishy
And some people
solid.
don't.
fishy solid, creative, expert. So just expert in general. So these are gonna be our 10 things. And the homework for everybody.
The other thing, I have one more.
Yeah, but I'm not going to take it. We're going to do this.
Okay, all right,
We can
okay.
do this. We can do this in the next one. Well, you can pitch it, and if I like it more than the rest of these, I'll substitute for one. But I don't want more than 10. So pitch it, Derek. What is it?
Money pressure.
Yeah, do they fold to the
Like,
big? Fold to the big.
So can I apply
do like
money
that.
pressure?
Fold to big
because-
bets.
Some of these guys, if they get like 1,000 or 2,000 in front of them,
Yeah, fold to big bets.
you
That
can
matter.
just
That
you can
matters.
just steal money from a baby off them, right?
Yeah,
Unless they
okay.
have the nuts.
So
All
not
right.
necessarily money pressure. You're talking more when they're up
All right, I'm gonna
big,
leave-
they start to play preservation mode.
Right. Okay. So these are our 11.
You could call it that. Yeah, that's another way of saying it.
Okay. So these are
But
our
you know
11.
what I mean, right?
So these are our 11. Here is going to be the homework, and this is going to be for both the online players and the live players, which is we are going to develop a system where at any time in the game, I can point to any player on the table, and you're going to answer the question about, you're going to know these things, whether they do these things. Okay. So we're going to learn to memorize these things about every player at the table. If you have a HUD and you're playing online, your HUD is going to answer some of these questions for you. But you're going to practice doing this on your own. So even without the HUD, meaning you're going to be able to answer these questions about each player. So the way we're going to do this is with the mnemonic memorization thing. And just so you know, this week I memorized pi to 100 digits just to prove that I could still do it.
Oh,
this
look
works.
at you, Mr. Fancy
I know.
Pants.
So this is how much my wife is out of town. This is how bored I've been this week, and I've been playing poker every day. So this is going to work for all of us. What we want to do is we're going to get a very clean picture of each of these 11 things, a graphic picture of what they look like, and we're going to put these pictures on their faces. All right, and they're going to be ones that are easy to remember. So we're going to do this. So when people have an open limp, we're going to picture them limping, which means we're going to picture their face falling over, literally falling in half. You look at somebody if they have an open limp range, then they limp and limping is falling over. Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, we like that. And by the way, these don't have to be them. And I'm making these up as we go. I didn't do this in advance. So if someone has a better one,
I have a standard I just use standard mnemonics, like
Okay, what's
1
yours?
gun, 2 shoe, 3 tree, 4 door.
Yeah, those
5 hive, 6 sticks, 7. And then
For
I
limp,
shove that on
they
their
have
face.
they're holding on to crutches.
Okay. All right. So limpers have crutch. Okay. So let's do this. So open limpers have crutches. So there's crutches there. Okay. Good enough. Limp, when they split their range and they have a limp and a re-raising range, we want to adjust something about the crutches. So if they have, so one could be they have 1 crutch or 2 crutch. The other could be the size of their crutches. But we want to picture something that when they limp and they raise. And so here's what it is. Crutches down is open limpers. Crutches up, like they're holding up crutches, is limp and a raising range. So open limp only is crutches down. Limp and raise, they have limps and raises in their open. They have open limps. I'm going to make it very clear what
Instead
I mean.
of
Open limps, they mix open limps and open raises. They have crutches and the crutches are being held up. We like that?
Sounds good.
Crutches up. Okay.
Everybody take a screenshot.
We're going to when we're done.
we'll look at all these and then we'll screenshot.
Right. So let's do in the same thing. Let's do all the limp ones together. Okay. If they have, so they're going to have limp calls. They're going to have limp call almost always. Or lots of limp raises, lots of limp folds. And we know these people. Limp to get in the pot, you raise them, they fold. Limp to get in the pot, you raise them, they fold. You can raise them with any 2 cards. And the only time they call you is when you limp, they raise, and someone else calls. And when they throw their hand away, they even say not enough players. They're trying to see a lot of flops, right? The limp fold.
If we do for those, their crutches are, if they always call, their crutches are kind of well worn. If they mostly limp fold, their crutches are brand new.
I'm going to do a different one rather than brand new, if this is okay. If they always limp fold, their crutches collapse. They're wimp and wobbly because that fits their range.
I like it.
So limp folds have limp folds are crutches. Their crutches collapse.
I like Bob. I like.
What did Bub say? I don't have the hat. Let me open up the
Survivor flag on it for limp fold.
That's nice. I'm going to do collapse because it's an action. And actions are really easy to memorize. Okay. So limp folds, the crutches collapse, and the limp calls who always do it, they have got fucking pneumatic crutches. They're crutches, but they're big fat crutches. But this is not strong range. They're just big fat bamboo crutches. So don't make the mistake of thinking that these are strong crutches. They just never fold. The crutches just never fold. Okay. And each time you look at the player, this is how this is going to get fucking easy for you. Every time you look at the player, you picture this set of pictures that we're going to get for them. And then when they do something that changes it, you change the picture. Everybody understand what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, that's our limp fold in that. All right.
Fold. And then the beauty of everyone having smartphones is really you could have AI generate these pictures, have them in your phone, and almost when you sit down, like
Yeah.
at the table, you can assign these pictures to the seats. And if you forget, like, you just look at your picture, you can change your
Yep.
pictures.
Yep. Or you can be a real dick and take a picture of their face and put the note on there so that next time you play them and be sitting there taking pictures of people at the table. I think that's impolite. I think we got to do this. I think we got to memorize it against their face.
Selfie and kind of get them in there somehow.
Right. Now, remember, you're not, no, this is going to come automatic. You're going to get this when they come back. When you learn to do this, you're going to be playing a game where it's the same game you use to memorize people's names. When you memorize hundreds of people's names, is you're going to get very good at, you're going to see their face when they come back, because you're not applying this picture to their seat. You're going to look at them and
You're
their
applying
face.
it to them specifically.
You're
So
going to
in your mind, you have a vision of them like coming into the room with crutches.
Exactly. And you look at something on their face that does it, like, so let's say the guy looks like the guy from ZZ Top. So you're going to picture him and his beard over the crutch and how it wraps around the crutch. You're going to lock that in. So when he walks in, you're going to see the crutch and the kind of crutch. It's going to be up, it's going to be down, it's going to be strong, it's going to be collapsed. Before he sits down at the table, you're going to remember this guy. So each person, you're going to look at what is it about their face, not their clothes, because remember, they changed their clothes. Their face, their body, if that's
Tattoos.
whatever it is, and you're going to assign this to them. Okay, so that's good. Next one
Luckily,
about
my years in the service industry bartending, I don't ever forget a face
great.
ever.
Okay, so the next thing,
Give us some tips on remembering.
okay, so the next thing we want to do is their raise size. Raise sizes.
I use alliteration. I will look at somebody like a defining feature of their face, and I'll come up with like an alliteration or like a rhyme.
Yeah, that's good.
And
This
it
is
just,
good.
I don't know. And then as soon as I see their face, I can remember. And I used to use that for names because I didn't forget faces. And if it was a defining feature of their face, like if their name was Glenn and they wore glasses, I might call them Glasses Glenn.
Right. So for the
I
raise,
mean,
that's great. No, that's perfect. That's a great way to do it. And the other way to do is if a Glen, if you have a picture of what a Glen is,
yeah,
a Glen is like that meadow. If you have a picture that associates with the name, they come in, they've got their glasses on, and you picture those glasses in the Glen, and you picture all the blades of grass poking through the holes in the glasses, and then it's just
yes,
you have it forever. Okay.
yeah.
So raise sizes. The typical
I think
we can do these with Derek's, with the one gun, two shoe, three tree thing. We can do it with the major mnemonic code, but I don't think there's any reason for you guys to learn that. Although I may do it that way because it's the one I know. But the thing we want to know about their sizes is, do we want to know we want to know if it's 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4, right? These are really the sizes that people do. Is that
are
right?
live much larger.
Okay. We want to know whether it's their regular size.
Right.
And we want to have things. So what's going to, 4, and let's just do bigger than 4, 4.5 plus. So we want to have a picture.
Varying their sizes.
Yeah,
And
well, we're
what
going
does
to
it
get
mean?
varying their sizes. We're going to get varying because we're going to look at them and know what their open size was.
Right.
So what do we want to do for each of these sizes that gets us there, that we're all going to remember easily? Here's the hard way to do it, but it may work for you, which is literally the number. You just put the number, you hang the number as their earrings. You hang a 2 or a 2.5 or a 3 as earrings on them. But I don't think that's the best way to do it. Here's a code. This is going to be a code that may not work for you guys, but is great for me. And maybe you guys will want to learn it, which is we do this. I'll give you the codes for these and you'll get it. We did this last week. This is called the major mnemonic code. 2 is N. So here's what they are. I'll just give you to them. I'll give them to you right now. 0 is S. 1 is T and P, T and D, that size. And you can see how 1 looks like a T. 2 is N because N has 2 humps. 3 is M because M has 3 humps. 4 is R because it ends in an R. And 5 is L because when you hold up your fingers, it looks like an L. And these are the only ones you need
What's
because
six?
this covers all these. So now 20 is always NS, which is a nose, right? NS, 20 is always NS. 25 is always NL. 30 is always MS. 35 is always ML. 40 is always RS. And 45 plus is always RL. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
This is more information than you need because you never needed to know because you needed all these. You needed all these digits. Great. So this is good. So NS is a nose. NL is a nail. MS is either multiple sclerosis or what's a better one for MS?
Microsoft.
Microsoft, Moose.
Just
Moose
imagine them
Moose is
masturbating.
fucking great. Moose is really good. ML is male. That's easy. RS is a rose. And RL is a rail. Is rail, can you guys picture a rail easily?
Oh, the
Or roll?
Yeah.
How about, what's better, rail or roll for you guys?
Dinner roll.
Roll, like a dinner roll. Okay. So we can picture each of these things. It's an object. A nose, a nail, a moose, moose the male, rose, and roll. When they do their raise, we're going to picture this size on them. And their open size is going to generally be, we're going to put it on a place on their face, a specific place. So we know what it is that we're remembering here. So so the crutches are sort of on their the crutches are going to be holding up their head, what the kind of crutches they have. And these
On their hat.
Yeah. And these are all going to be, how about on the mouth? Mouth is open. So the guy opens his mouth and there's a big old nose on his mouth. There's a nail coming out of his mouth. There's a moose coming out of his mouth. His mouth is delivering the mail. He's got roses all over his lips and he's got a dinner roll that he's chewing. That's pretty active, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be enough for now. We're going to do the rest of these and let's do one more. Let's just do the general one. So when the guy walks in, which is fishy, solid, creative, and expert. So fishy is a fish. That's easy. Solid, not just a solid, good, normal player. We don't have any other details on him yet. Is going to be like a block around his head. Creative is either going to be dangerous. Yeah, creative to me is going to be dangerous. Creative is going to be fire.
Bob Ross.
Danger. I'm doing danger for that because that's what creative people are. They're danger. And just an expert is better than me and I'm just afraid of him. So that's just me. That's just fear for there. Okay. So that's enough. This is going to be the homework for the week. And as we look at our hands now, we're going to practice this we're going to sort of look at the HUD stats and give, we're going to do these pictures on all the hands going forward. Just this much of it. And we're going to classify each player as we go forward and assign that to
Any way you can move the nose, nail, moose, either that or delete the number system. Okay, never mind. That's right.
now
I got it.
Yeah, let me get that out of the way. I don't need you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this is going to be our code. And we're going to use this. We're going to be practicing stuff like this. We're going to use the same code so we can talk to each other. And the other thing is we're going to be in all our hands going forward. We're going to practice this. You are all going to get really good at this within a week. This is really easy and it's going to be really valuable. Okay, so let's do some hands now.
More for the other things, or we just want to stop with what we have?
This is enough for now. I don't want to overload it.
Okay.
This is enough because now we're going to be able to say, you're going to look at it. I'm going to say to the guy, "Is that guy, what does that guy do?" And you're going to say, he never limps. Or this is a guy who limps and folds. Always it says open reins. Mix open limps.
He's a moose with no crutches.
Yeah, exactly. Mix open limps and open. Oh,
He's
mixed open limits and
oh.
open raises. Right, that's what it is. Oh, it said open rain. There you go. Okay, good. All right. So let's move to some marked hands. I mean, not marked hands. Let's move to some all face up hands, and then we'll just practice this on each person. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. Poker tracker.
Let me check. There might have been one more.
Okay, we can do it on yours. That's fine.
Can you
I
write
wanted
that
to
in
look
the
at?
chat?
Say what?
Can you put that note in the chat so
Sure.
I can just
I'll
grab
do
it
that.
in text form?
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Yeah, there,
Copy, paste in the chat.
Right. Thanks.
There we go. Send. All right. Now let me do you want to show a hand, Andy? The reason I want to jump to mine is because we can see every player. We're gonna practice. Yep. Let's do.
there was one hand I
Okay,
wanted
okay.
to look at real
Okay,
quick.
okay. Let's do it. Sounds good.
Just because I kind of,
That's great.
I was unsure. Honestly, like even pre-flop, I was kind of unsure what to do.
Okay. This hand is gonna go to Larry.
All right. Eights on the button. Jesus.
This was their standard open size.
Your options are 22 behind 83. This is their standard opening size. What's their VPIP? 22?
Yeah, 22. Yeah, 22-19. And every time, so session was 11 hands. And every time they opened was to this 10.
Your options are to shove or to fold. Especially with the 22 big blind stack behind you.
Yep. And you're only worried about making a mistake against the 83 big blind stack. That's the only mistake you've got, and there's only one of them. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
I think you shove or fold here.
Yep.
So then I blundered this hand. I called, and if I'd have been in the small blind or like the cutoff, I would have shoved. I just felt like on the button I could call here.
Well, I don't think it's a
you have to
blunder,
position
but
Yeah.
I think the way to think about this is it's just a very weird spot. So it's not a spot we study. So I don't think you blundered.
Yeah, and then
All right. Well, now let's see what it does. Yeah, we're not going to fold.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, I'm having trouble vocalizing why shoving or folding are the best options. Maybe Scotty could take a shot at it. Maybe I don't. Maybe I forgot. Maybe I don't understand. Essentially, what's happening here is that when you call, the pot
fuck it,
is
Freddie.
well. Okay, number one, yeah. You want to shove more when this guy has an inconsequential stat. You only have one guy to worry about waking up with it. So that increases the profitability of shoving. I guess it comes down to pot odds on flop. So when you call 20 in the middle, 40 behind, 23, 24 in the middle, 40 behind, you're really pot committed at that point. So because you're going to be pot committed on flop, it's, obviously a big part of this game is equity denial. It's better to shove free.
Right. Yeah,
So-
I literally to the size. I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do here.
Well, what I always do in situations where it could be like hot cold, how does it run hot cold against if all 5 cards get run out? So whenever I'm in a situation where I could, someone's basically we're fipping for like on the flop, no, pre-flop, I always take the number of pips in the cards and double it for the highest one, and then add 22 for a pair and 2 if it's a flush, and that gives me my basically hot cold number.
I don't know what that
So
means.
this would give you 24 plus 2 plus 22. So that gives you like 46. So that's so like if you do that for all aces count for 15, by the way.
Yeah.
Kings count for 13. So
Is this like an
so
old system from a
what?
book?
This
Well,
this is
this is what you do when you want an immediate number for how your hand does hot cold, right?
Hmm,
And
okay.
it will accurately predict who wins the hot cold, right? So you're quite when you're evaluating hands, you want to know how does this hand do hot cold, and this is a
What you mean by
situation
hot cold?
when all the if you're just running out all the flop turn river.
Okay.
So if I give you two different hands, right, and you want to know which one will win, if we just run out the flop turn river, this will give you numbers, so it gives you immediately quantify how your hand does, right? So your hand is a 46 in the hot cold numbers, which is very good. So I'm saying fuck it, get the money in. Does that make sense? That's
Yeah,
how I evaluate situations. That's what you should do every single time you get into a situation like this.
that's one option. One way to look at this too is, and I think yours is cool, and I'm going to look it up because I think it's from a different generation. But I think the other way to look at this is that you shove with, well, depending on this guy, you shove with definitely the top 80, probably the top 70% of your range.
Yeah, but like when you're sitting at the table, you don't have like a
did you say,
calculator, right?
Larry, did you say top 70% or 7%?
So so what I do
Sorry,
is like
top 30%.
Thank
if
you.
you don't
You scared me.
if
Yeah.
you're in a situation where you're not caring about how easy the hand is to play, right? In
Yeah.
this situation, I immediately think about how do pocket eights do hot cold, and I like to have numbers. Like I'm a computer scientist, right? I
Hmm.
like gravitate towards quantitative
Yeah, that's
evaluation
cool.
stuff. So
These
that's what I do. I'm not saying that's the only thing you can do.
these numbers came from a thing that was called, and it's not PACE, I can't remember the name of the acronym, but it's playing the end game strategy in sit and goes. And it was, you calculated this number and it was a push fold strategy above the, push fold and a push call strategy. And it was all, and it was you calculated the hand strength using this code, and it was called something end game strategy. So pace or PAS or space. I don't remember the thing of it. So that's where you can find it, find this evaluation, and then
Right.
a series
So
of
if you
numbers
want,
depending on how many big blinds you had left. Do you call or fold? For this one, for most of us, we don't need this because you already have a sense of what the strong hands, weak hands are. The main thing about this one that I'm seeing is because he always opens to 10, he is turning the game into a game where you should almost never call. Your hands divide into what's a hand that's worth raising and what's a hand that's not worth raising. He has simplified the game tree for you. And eights is close to that line. Tens is a straight up jam against this guy every time. Okay. And sixes is definitely not. Thank you, Sage. That's what it was. Sit and go end game system. That's what it was. Sage. I remember the end of the two. Okay.
oh,
Thank you, Larry.
I didn't know it as that. That's just the situation.
Yeah.
That's just what I use.
That's just where that system comes from. And you can read all about it. And if you now look up Sage, it'll give you all the details on exactly how to play it. And you can decide if it's valuable to you. So eights is kind of, in that deciding point at the 10x. The fact that the one reason that you might want to call this, and this is both a Larry, this is a Larry concept and an anti-Larry concept, which is when you jam, you give up your positional advantage. So the fact that we could call here because we're on the button is great. But which is more important, his 10 big blind mistake or your positional advantage? And I think it's his, and given the fact there's only two behind and one of them is non-threatening, I think it's I think it's his positional mistake,
Like-
and that jamming is the best thing to do. But
I agree with you, but I want to just counter for something.
yep, let me finish the
Um,
thing. And you're up, Derek. There was one.
Let me finish
Yeah,
with you.
which is-
Finish what you're
but
saying.
that ignores the factor of this guy that we would have had, which is his spaz factor. And we're going to have that when we look at him. The fact that he jammed his ace 8 nonsensically is a really good reason not to jam here, because that takes away his spaz factor. Okay, now go, Derek.
Like, I think that in evaluating what to do, it's more important to play well against the guy with 83 big blinds than it is to play against the guy with 41. So the optimal play for the 41 is just shove it in. But
Well, 51.
what?
51 big, because we do have to count his bet into, if we're going to jam, it's a 51 big blind jam, not a 41.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
I was just
agreed.
calling 41
Agreed.
because that's what's his name.
I agree. But what I'm saying is that it's more important to play well against the 83 big blind player than it is to play against the short stack.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I would
by
never
preserving-
jam this on a full stack. This is about him being a broken stack doing stupid shit.
Right.
Say
But Derek's
again?
point is that you have to worry about a kind of non-broken stack behind you, Mr. Poker Butts. And to play well against him, we can call here. And then when
Yeah.
Mr. Poker Butts jams, we can fold. And when Mr. Poker Butts calls, which we've invited him in, then we get to play in position with a hand that plays fine, you know?
So,
So those are
so
the
there's
reasons.
two.
But I still think the jam is better.
So it's really hard for Mr. Poker Butts to stick his nose into our pot if we jam.
He's got to have a real hand.
That's the idea, right? And if he has aces, fuck it.
Yeah.
You
And-
know, like,
Yeah, he puts his 9s, 10s, jacks in a really nasty spot.
yeah, exactly.
Remember when we
Yeah,
called?
he'll throw away jacks here.
You
It
mean
puts
when
his
we-
king queen suited. It puts hands that have a ton of equity against us in a really nasty spot.
Yeah.
Unless he's aware enough to know that, hey, this guy's opening to this size every time. He's a short stack. And this is one of the I like to call them I don't say heroes, but since we're recording, I'll say hit and run heroes. Instead of what I actually call them.
Yes.
Fucking short
he
stacks.
Huh?
Fucking short stacks.
No, that's not what I call them.
Oh, okay.
So I call them hit and run homos. These players that they buy in for the minimum and they get into like one or two tables at a time. And I've actually seen, I wish I could find it online. There was a guy on YouTube who was talking about this as a viable strategy. He has like an account on every single online site he can play. And he will start at the lowest stakes every day and go through, and like he'll play on Poker Stars today. He will buy in and he will play every single table, every single stake, but he'll buy in the minimum and he'll play like one or two tables at a time. And his goal is to get up to 100 big blinds and leave. Like he is a hit and run hero.
Right.
That is his whole strategy.
Mhm.
And this player, I've never seen them buy in for more than the maximum. And once he hits about 120 big blinds or a little over 100, he dips to a different table.
Well,
So like
I'm
I've
si-
seen him at plenty of tables, but I don't have a ton of hands because they play gamble, and they're either going to double or triple up and bounce, or they're going to get stacked twice and leave.
well,
They are profitable.
I have
people.
a confession to make. Years ago, I used to short stack the 25-50 game. So, like, I just buy in for $500, and the people, of course, hated me because they have to play well against the people who have $5,000 or $10,000 on the table. And when you have some fucker with $500, he can play perfectly against
Mhm.
you have to play against the people who have 5 or 10,000 if everyone is buying in short stack. So I'm pretty
That's
sure
the
I was
advantage.
one of these but I wouldn't hit and run. I would just build my stack.
These players, there's somebody
which
on
allowed me.
YouTube.
Okay, this allowed me to change gears, right?
Yeah.
So I had one gear when I had like 10 big blinds. Like the rules are stupid because they allowed me to buy in for 10 big blinds, right? And of course, the way that you play a game with you only have 10 big blinds is totally different than the way you play once you built a stack.
So I'm
what I
going to
do
stop
is
you
I
for a
just
second here. I'm going to stop you for a second here, Derek. So the strategy you're describing, playing a short stack well, which almost no one does. So these guys who are buying in for the short stack are not playing the short stack strategy. There exists a short stack strategy that we do not study that is mathematically better than the deep stack strategy. Meaning, if you've got a deep stack expert and a short stack expert playing together, the short stack expert has an advantage. But
right.
because we don't
So
play against deep stack
when
experts.
when I was playing 25-50, I would just buy in like for really short, right? Because it allowed me to optimize against very good players, sit at the table with very good players, and not get run over, right?
Yep. That's
so I'd have
that,
like
you can never
100 buy-ins with me, and
you can never get bluffed off a hand, and experts are into bluffing. That's the thing.
Right.
So that's good. The reason we don't study that strategy is because deep stacked playing against people who are playing badly, and we have seen the kinds of mistakes that people are making. And by the way, I'm people, so I'm included. I'm making these mistakes too. It is more profitable to play deep stacked a little better than your deep stacked opponents than to play short stacked as an expert. So that's why we study. But the strategy you described is there, and I want to move forward because I want to move forward with the.
So I'm just using this to illustrate that point that we're here in a situation where we're playing. We have both a deep stack and a short stack at the table, and you always, if you're any good, you always optimize against the deep stack player, right?
Yes.
So
he's on your, and he's also he's on your left, which is where you don't want him. You want the short stack on your left and the deep stack, but this is what you were faced with. And I love the result of this hand. This is great.
But the other thing is, if you want to move up in stakes, a good way to do it is to short stack. Like I was playing 25-50.
With that.
No, hear me out.
That's fine.
In a place where like there's not like like when you don't have like horrendous rake, like it was a time game, only $9 a half hour. So you might as well play.
All right, we're gonna
optimal against good players because you learn a shit more.
Yeah.
But when I was talking about one, I'll see if I can find it. It is somewhere in my YouTube history. This guy is saying like his strategy that he preaches. He plays online and he has accounts on literally every single site he can play on. And he preaches this. He buys in for the table minimum and he starts at like 10 NL or whatever usually 10 NL. And he'll play every single 10 NL table that's available. Not all at once, but he'll play a few at a time. And when he doubles or triples, usually when he buys in for 40, because that's the minimum in every online game, when he hits a minimum of 100 big blinds, he leaves the table.
Right.
When he's played every 10 NL table, he moves up to the next, and he'll spend like a couple days on one site and just hit and run.
We're not going to, and we're not going to.
So if the algorithm moves you to tables with better players, if you are a winning player, you should definitely constantly be changing sites.
I have never heard that the algorithm does that. Never heard.
They don't move you online because he literally hits and then leaves the table and goes to a different table, and he has marked what tables he's already been on, so he just doesn't go back to that table.
Right. But what I'm saying is that if a site sees you winning, they're going to put you at a table with more winning players.
Stop.
Choose what table
Stop.
you're playing on.
Stop. I'm gonna take the prerogative because it's my Zoom room to say we're gonna change the subject. Because one, I don't believe the algorithm does that, and two, because we're not gonna study the short stack strategy today, but we are gonna study remembering how other people play. So I'm gonna move us on. Next, because we were.
All right. So are you able to bring your notes up on the side screen over there, Scotty, so we can see
Yep.
them?
Yep, I can do that. Here we go.
So this is just a belief. You don't have proof.
Of which thing I said? No, I said no. I don't know that it does or doesn't. I said I don't
So you
believe.
don't have any proof.
No, I have no
Let's
proof.
let's talk about this offline.
That's fine. Okay. Here we go. So we'll go in order. So we'll start with so Larry.
Yeah.
We go. We're gonna assign things. As we go around, we're gonna assign any information we have to what someone does and do our picture to them. So first thing on this guy, what's the first picture we want to do?
Well, this guy's a limper. Let me check my notes.
Right.
He gets crutches down.
He's got a crutch. He's got a crutch. They start down. Good. He's got crutches down, and so
down.
And so let's all do that. Picture in this seat, and on the next hand, whoever it is, it's the same guy. So everybody see the crutches in that seat? Good.
Got it.
All right.
This guy ISOs.
ISOs, we're not going to do ISO sizes yet. We'll do that in the future. We're just going to do opening sizes to keep life simple. So all we have is this guy ISOs.
Okay.
This guy 3-bets.
Yeah.
And that's our total piece of information because this guy 3-bet, just hands. Okay.
So villain 4 has got crutches.
4's got crutches. All right. Next hand. All right. Next hand is Derek.
Okay.
Let's see what happens. So, what picture do you have on villain on this guy here with the ace 3? You have a picture on him right now. What is it?
So he's got crutches on his nose.
He's got crutches and they're face down. His face is leaning on crutches, whatever it is. Good. Okay.
Yep.
Good. All right.
So we want to get in hands with him. We
Mhm.
assume
Yep.
that he's a bad player.
Yep. And we don't need to add the fish to the crutches yet because the crutches are fish already, but all the crutches are fish to start with. All right, here we go. Ace 2.
I use colors on when I play online.
Yep. We're going to do this for now though, because we're
Yeah.
going to use this for live play. We're using the online as an experiment and as practice. Okay.
Would be funny to paint your opponent.
Yep. So what does this guy get right now?
He gets crutches down.
Crutches. Okay, good. This guy's still got his crutches. They stay there.
Yeah.
Check. From this, we're getting no information that we're remembering, but we're saying that this raise was pretty dubious with the 7, but it worked. I think this is a bad raise. All right, next is Andy.
All right. Fold.
All right,
Fold.
we're done. Next hand, Andy.
Fold.
All right, he raises to 3.5. What do we want to remember about his raise to 3.5?
Mail. He's got a bag of mail.
Right. We've got mail, and the place that we're going to picture it is we're going to picture the mail coming out of his mouth is where the bag of mail is hanging, because that's what we know is this open. So, because later we're going to have a 3
right. So he's
we're going to assign the mail to his mouth only because later we're going to use a different place on his face for his 3-bet size or something like that. Okay. Great. And he's raising into a guy. What do we know about villain 7?
the same guy that has the.
They're always the same guy. All these guys
Okay.
are always going to be the same guy in this definition. And by the way, they are. It's the same table.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Is it
Yeah.
actually the same? So villain
Yeah.
7. Oh, what did we? What? So we know villain 4 is crutches down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember villain. Sorry, I looked away for a second.
Don't look away. Watch every hand. His crutches down. All right, here we go.
Okay, so they're both crutches down.
Right, and this guy's got a bag of mail.
Yep.
coming out of his mouth. Next hand is Bub. Do we know
Nope.
anything about this guy yet?
Nope.
Nope.
And we
What do we know
give
about him
him
now?
a moose is in his mouth.
Right, there's the moose. Good. Let me see it there. There's his moose, and they fold. All right. Next hand, Dean. You turn on your mic.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. First action. Hero raises to 2.5. What do we know about
Fish,
2.5?
hero fish.
Hero fish. Fish.
Nail.
Right. Nail.
Nail through his mouth or something.
Yep. And here's the easy thing with the nail is all of his teeth are nails. That's just such an easy picture. So you just look at the guy and you see all his teeth are nails. This is the guy who opens to 2.5. Great. We get a flat collar. What do you know about that flat collar?
Was there something for flat calls?
Nope. You know something about
But
him.
he's the crutches guy, so
He's an open limper. So you're getting so when you see the guy, he's not just a call from the small blind, he's a call from an open limper. And therefore, what can you conclude about his range? What does it look like?
shit.
It looks like a big blind range, not the small range. As you can see, King six might defend in the big blind. It's not that far off. It's a mistake to defend a King six against a button open, but it's close to the range, but it's nowhere near the small blind calling range. Right?
Ace two,
So we're
four, two.
make that assumption about him. All right, let's hope Scotty wins this hand. Oh, boo. Check, bet, call. All right, now check.
Check.
Now we check because now we have showdown value.
Yeah.
Great. Now he bets. And for that size bet, we probably let's see.
Keep him honest, just because
Were there draws that he could stay in with on the flop?
10 jag, 9, 10.
Right. Good. Okay.
All that back to jag 9.
Good. So we should call, right?
Yeah.
Nope. Here's why we should.
He's a crutch down guy.
crutch
He's
guy.
passive.
Crutch guys don't bluff. I mean, I don't mean they never bluff, but they don't bluff enough. And our hand is third pair bluff catcher. Let's fold. Now, at the time I played this, I probably did not have a picture of him with a crutch. I just was playing against a guy. And I may have called him because I have a marginal showdown. But if I thought about it, I could fold this. There we go. It's not a terrible call. Not terrible. I just lost, but now probably could do better.
I mean, if he has like any bluffs, you're just going to say he has 0 bluffs.
No,
For
no,
half
I'm
pot,
saying it's
like
okay.
any bluffs isn't like a horrible call.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's okay. And now I'm gonna hide their hands because I don't care what their hands are. That's not the act. We don't need to know that. All right, here we go. Next hand goes to Larry. All right, raise. What do we know about the guy who's raised already? Anything? Larry, unmute. Larry, unmute. All right, we're gonna lose Larry in a second. Larry's busy. Okay.
Scotty.
There's
Really
Larry.
quick, obviously, I'm not saying we change course or do anything different. I'm suggesting, but if you wanted, I pulled up I pulled up so at one stake all my hands, and I filtered to hands that just went to showdown, not hands I VPIP, just hands that went to showdown across one stake where they're not anonymous.
Great.
That if we wanted, we could continue with this exercise, but with that database, that we can actually add those notes as we go and really build player profiles that way. That way we can kind of see, because we'll know, like, okay, for sure, this is the exact same player.
Yep. Let's do that tomorrow. Let's start with that tomorrow. I think that's a great idea. The reason, because we only have 15 minutes left, and I just want to do this with these, just because we started with these players. Because when we do yours, we're going to do them off their names, and we're going to do a better job. So yours is going to be more effective, but I want to start it fresh. So that's what we'll do. We're going to do that Tuesday. That is going to be our first thing on Tuesday. All right.
Or I guess I could send you the hands, because I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, send me the hands. Or I can also filter my database for showdown. But no, yours is better because yours has names. Let's do yours. Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be, we can actually add the note into their player note.
Yep, good. Let's do that. Okay. So Larry didn't come back on, so we're up on me. Okay, so what do we know about this guy? Nothing. We have no picture of this guy yet. So this is our first thing. 3, 3 is going to be a moose. And there's his moose antler teeth. I see those teeth in his mouth sitting on that guy. There's his raise, and it folds around. Next hand goes to Derek. We got a limp from this guy.
Yeah.
Do we know anything about this guy yet?
Yeah. He's new. Is he new to the table, or did he?
No, these are always going to be by definition the same guy. We're going to call them the same guy for the exercises. They're not always.
Okay. Okay,
So-
so he limped. So he's got crutches.
Right. So he's limped twice now.
Yeah. So he's got
Right.
2 sets of crutches on him.
Yeah. So we don't need that, but he had one little crutch there. Now he's got more. And the more they accomplish, the more crutches they get, the more they have. So he's a limper. There we go. So there's the limper.
Like we could play with him.
Yep, I could play the 10-7 against him. Absolutely could.
Because he has, we know he's a bad player, so we want to get in pots with bad
Yep.
players. So
Yep.
maybe King 7 is.
Yep.
a
But I
little
want to see
fine.
one other piece of information that I don't have yet. I don't
Yeah.
know what he does he hasn't been ISO'd yet. So before I stick out the ISO, let's let somebody else find out that information for money. I've got 10-7 suited on the button. It's marginal. I can fold it in a 3-blind game. I could fold it. So, and he has better than a random hand. He's compressed. He doesn't have top of range, but he's better than random. I can fold 10-7
But-
suited.
But
But if he's a limp folder, I'm going to attack him every time. But I don't have any information yet. But I'm going to in the future. I'm going to have the limp fold in the future information, but I don't have it yet. Okay.
I like to get into pots with bad players before they lose
Okay.
all their money.
That's fine. Fair enough.
Like 2 limps is enough to.
Okay. Good enough. Good enough.
Is enough information for me. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
That's fair. All right, Andy, you're up next.
Right.
So the limper. What do we know about this limper already?
We know a crutch is down.
Yep. And now he has even more crutches.
Yes.
This is his second limp. We actually know that
Yes.
just because of this. We weren't trying to memorize how many limps he had, but we did. That's a second limp. All right, here we go. So he's
We've
limped.
seen what he does versus a raise, but at this point we know that his range is super weak, so we can go ahead and start punishing. This is an
Yeah.
ISO hand anyways.
This hand is easy against a guy who's limped twice. This is great. It's not enough hands for us to care that we haven't seen him raise. We really would like him to be both a limp and a raiser. That's what we want, because then we know his that he's even weaker, because we don't know that he's not limping his whole range, but we don't care. We have ace-8 suited. Let's raise him. So we ISO, he calls. So now immediately, what do we do in his picture?
The big fat bamboo crutches.
No, crutches up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, no, you're right. You're right. Bamboo crutch. There's
When
thicker
he
crutches.
mixes, his
No,
crutches are up.
You're right. You're right. I was wrong. That's it. That his crutches are now thicker. Thick bamboo. I said bamboo, but they're thick. They don't fold. So they're not collapsing crutches. So he's got strong crutches. Good. We got that. We got our ace. Doesn't matter what we do. We can check or bet. We just move on. We go for the check range here. Now we're going to bet on the turn. He's going to call. We're going to bet again on the river with this. Yeah, we're going to bet, and his flush draws are all going to fold. So we're just betting to get value from his 10 or his 7. And when he has a better ace, so be it. We're going to bet. So we
You
bet.
probably know that his spaz factor is a little low.
Right. And he folds. We don't get to know what he had. It doesn't matter because we don't know that in our exercise. All right. Bub. Next hand.
Yes.
Here we go. What do we know about this guy?
Oh, he was a moose guy.
Right. So what was his last raise size?
3, and now he uses a different sizing.
Yeah. We don't know what it means yet, but we know it's true. And that's the value of this, because I wouldn't have known that. And you don't have that in his stats here. This is a moose. All right. So I don't know what it means, but we'll go forward with it. What do you feel like doing with pocket 4s in this situation?
I would call.
Okay. I'm going to fold them. Jonathan Little would call. Perfectly fine to call them. The reason is set mining out of position. Not a great thing. The reason to continue is he went down in size. Is that weaker? In which case, then I should ISO it more. But in this point, I'm just going to just fold.
Yeah,
This guy, villain 3, is also a moose, and now he's calling.
Okay. There we
we
go.
have to see what size
Yeah.
what does the split range? Does his size down? Is it inverse where the smaller
Yeah.
open is strong, or is it
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know that,
linear?
but we know he splits his, but we know that he's changing his size. We also don't know if he's changing his size based on who's in the big blind. He could be that level of good.
Oh
Because,
wait, that was wrong, right? He's a male guy. Villain 3 was male.
yeah. Villain 3 was nail. Here we go. Check raise, he calls. And let's see if we get to a showdown and get information. We don't. So that's what we know. And now we put him on a stronger range we put him on at least a strong range on the 2.5 because he could call it because he called a check raise here. So probably an overpair, maybe a 3, probably an overpair. All right, here we go. Next hand, Dean.
All right.
So this guy's raised to 3.
Moose.
He's a moose. And was he already a moose? Did we see this before?
Well, you were on the button in that spot before. The hero was there.
Right.
So
But we're assuming it's the same guy. It's just, it might not be the same real guy, but for the memorization exercise, this is the same guy. What was his open size last time?
Oh, well, it was the hero, but hero was the nail.
Yeah. No, what was the guy in seat 6? What was his open size last time?
I just remember you sitting there.
3.5. Yeah, it is,
3.5.
but that seat was 3.5. Remember? Everybody remember that? That it was male coming out of his mouth?
Yep, exactly.
So that's the thing we remember. This now it's not the same guy, but I'm saying assuming it for the exercise, they're always the same person.
Uh-huh.
Is there
Yes,
a way to lock your seat so that you're not bouncing around the table?
I don't
Because
know.
what Dean's saying
I'm not
is
sure.
you were in that
Yeah.
specific seat.
Right.
Yeah,
But we're not
we're just coming off this hero.
right. We're doing this. We're not doing this for poker. We're doing this for learning, for practice doing the trick. Because in a real game, they don't move around. And then when they move around, we'll get them. So I'm just simplifying it. There isn't a way to
I get
it's a different table. It could be a different day, but I want to remember the information we had before I complicate it with, and now that guy has left. Because notice this guy might be the different guy next time, but this guy still has 2 crutches and they're thick. He called it, he limp called. I want to remember that. And this guy had 2
bamboo
crutches. And this
Yeah,
guy
but-
here,
What
is
I-
the 3, and this guy splits his range. He's done a 2.5 so he's done both he's done a moose and he's done a nail. He's done both. That's the thing I want to remember. Make sense? Okay, so there's a 3 we fold. All right. Next one after Dean is me. All right, me. So this guy limps. He's limped before. This is his 3rd time limping. So my picture of him is just he's got 3 crutches. I don't know whether they collapse or whether they're thick. I don't know whether he has a raising range, but so far 3 limps. And I have not seen him raise. There is a raise here, but he didn't do it, but not since we've been at the table. So we're doing this based on the table, not when did he raise? We didn't see him raise, did we? I don't know why.
No, I don't
We're going
think so.
backwards. We're going backwards in that we're not going forward. So we can't use the HUD stats. He hasn't raised yet. So we don't have him splitting his range yet. Okay. This guy calls, not a surprise. We see him this way. And here we go. This guy. So did we have something for attacking limpers yet? No, we're going to get a picture for this later, that this guy is a bully who attacks limpers. So we're going to picture him beating up kids in crutches. So we'll put that in. This guy beats up kids with crutches. All right. But this is the important thing. What do we now know about this guy's crutches? Oh, this is me. Sorry. This is me. This guy now has thick crutches because he limped and called a raise. He has thick crutches. This guy still has his thick crutches, and that guy folded. And then we play the hand out. Okay. So what are we putting this guy on here? We're putting this guy on middling kings and some jacks. That's what we're putting this guy on. Let's see what this guy does when the flush completes. He jams it, and this guy calls, and he calls off with, we would not be surprised to see a king here at all. What the actual fuck?
Nice hand.
Nice hand queens. Nice hand queens. I thought this guy was a king or a jack. I did not think that he called the 9-10. He did pick up equity on the turn, but it was really polluted equity. And then he decided.
Do we have a thing for the guy that bets thin on the river?
Yes. Yes. Good. Good. Excellent. We want to put that. This guy bets thinly on the river into a scary board.
Super.
We're gonna get a standard mnemonic for it, but right now, we'll just make him really skinny. His face is really thin. All right, next hand.
In there.
All right, next hand is Derek.
Yo,
All right,
we raise.
right. What do we know about this guy's raise sizes here?
We usually raise 2.5, so we've got a bunch of nails in our mouth.
Nails, right? Our teeth look like nails. There we go.
Yep.
And that's actually me, and that is true. My teeth do look like nails. And there we go. They fold. All right.
No,
Next hand is Andy. All right.
So now his crutches are down.
Crutches are up. Up is mixed range.
Up is mixed.
raise.
Yeah, that's
Up for
right.
raise.
Up. Crutches
Limps,
up.
Right. And the picture is he limps, crutches down, and he raises, crutches up. Okay, good. Excellent.
No,
So
he
he's got
is thick
Whoa.
crutches up, right?
He's got thick crutches up. We see him.
Mhm.
Picture
A
the
rose in his mouth.
and his size. This is his first open size.
He's got a rose. When he opens his mouth, it's a rose coming out.
He's got roses. He's got roses in his mouth. He's got roses in his mouth and thick crutches up. Can you guys all picture that right there? Because I swear, if you don't say the words, but if you actually do the picture, when we come back to this in 10 hands, you're going to see it. But you got to picture it. You got to do the exercise. You can't say, okay, it's thick crutches up and move. You got to look at it and picture it in your mind and put that picture right there. Okay, good. There's our thick crutches up, and we get a caller, and that's no information at all. We're not doing anything with that. But what we should say is that this guy should be raising now a little bit more than he calls, but he's still in the big blind, so he has a calling range. But his calling range should get much smaller. He should be folding 5-3 suited. He should definitely be folding not, I think, 9-7 suited to a 4 to this size open. His calling range gets thinner. We don't call the 2 gappers here so much. And so I would just fold the 5-3, 6-4, 7-5. I'd fold all those up to, Jack 9 suited. I wouldn't fold. 10-8 suited. I don't know, but 9-7 I'm folding. So there we go to that size. All right. Check. He bets continue. This is a good range. So this should be from his range intelligently. This should be over pairs. And this guy owns this board. He could consider check raising here with his flush draws, with his straight draws against this guy missing this board a lot, but it is a bigger size. So maybe he should back off, especially without knowing whether that 4 is big for him. It's his first raise and it's 4. If we see his next raise is 2.5, I think that we're going to put this on a lot of over pairs. He does go for the check raise. Good. This guy calls. We think this guy has an overpair to the 7. That's what we think. All right. The king comes. This is terrible for us, even though we think he has an overpair. When he sticks around with ace king, he's got us. So we better have something real to continue. Oh, we have something real. Let's see what we have. I'm interested.
Yeah, I want to see this one.
He's on the bluff, and I'm completely wrong about this guy. Completely wrong. But
So he's just a spaz.
yeah, he's a bad player. But there we go. All right. Next hand. That was Bub, I think, wasn't it? No, that was who did that one? That was Bub. All right. After Bub is Dean. If you want to unmute Dean. Here we go. This is a poster, not a limper. So that's nothing here. This 3.8 is an ISO size, and we're not doing ISOs yet. So this hand goes away. All right, next hand. This guy here, who's me, does the nails as we thought. All right, we're just going to play it out.
But didn't we add a change in the last hand now with villain 4?
Yeah, it's a new villain 4, but we're going to ignore the fact that it's a new villain 4.
No, I mean, but didn't we also have to change the picture because he was also limp calling and now he limp folded in one hand before, or was he just big
the
blind?
limp fold? I think no, he didn't. No, he limp called. He
Here,
limp called.
yeah.
Yeah.
And-
So we did change the picture. He has big thick crutches down. This guy has big thick crutches up.
Mm.
Big thick crutches down in this position, big thick crutches up in this position. What do we know? And it's 12:15, so we'll stop. And now I'm going to do the review. So everybody, I'm going to just go around in the circle, and I want you to tell me what you know about each position. So Derek, start with villain 5. What do we know about villain 5?
Villain 5.
Yep.
Actually, I don't remember very much.
Okay. Who remembers villain 5?
It was this moose in the mouse.
Yep. He has a moose in the mouth, but he also, if I remember correctly, he also had nails in the mouth. This guy mixes his opening
Yes.
range between 3 and 2.5, and we don't know why yet.
Yep.
Okay, good. Who remembers anything about this position? We'll go back to Derek. Do you remember anything about this position, Derek?
Nails in the mouth.
Good. Yep, that's right, Dean. This is a
Nail. We had 2 nails in our mouth.
Yep, this is a 2.5 opener. Good. Let me go back. Derek, let me ask Derek first. Derek, do you remember anything about villain 3?
Drawing a blank.
Okay, so this system may not be good for you, Derek, or you may need to work on it more. Let's go to Andy. Andy, do you remember anything about villain 3?
Villain 3 was, I think, didn't he have a rose? And was it a rose and crutches
No,
up?
that's this guy. This guy's a moose.
Oh yeah, a
This guy-
moose.
He's a moose. Now, and do you remember him now being a moose now that I repeat it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Next guy here. What do we know about villain 6? Bub.
That was a male guy.
Yep.
Mhm.
Good. Villain 7. Derek, do you remember villain 7? I want to see how bad this system is for you.
Villain 7 has lots of crutches.
Right, crutches. And are those crutches up or down?
Down. He's the guy we
Do-
want
do-
to get in pots
Oh.
with.
No, his crutches are up. Remember, he opened to 4.1.
He had the big fat bamboo crutches up with a rose.
Right, that's the guy. He raised that one hand to 4.16. It happened to be 4. It happened to also be 4/6 suited, but that was the thing about this guy. His crutches were up, so he mixes opening ranges, and his crutches are strong. He hasn't check folded yet. Okay, that was this guy.
So, what about for visualization? Instead of, because like I think the opening mouth, like I like the crutches instead of, and I guess we can all do it different.
Yep.
Is like lapel pins, right? If we're doing crutches and like accessories on them that we can visualize,
Right.
what if we do lapel pins or something? So like they have a pin of a nose or a
That works.
nail or
The one thing I want you to do, though, I agree that will look fine. Is I want you to still use nose, nail, moose, male, rose, and roll, because then we
just
can
incorporate that somehow into what they're wearing, what they're
Yep.
doing.
Exactly. It doesn't matter where you put. If the only thing we were tracking was their opening size, it wouldn't matter. All that would matter is that they have a nose somewhere, they have a nail somewhere. The reason I put it in their mouth is because later I want to know their size for something else, and so I'm going to place that in a different place. But I don't care where you put it. Yep, you got it. And then our last guy is this guy. And let's go with Dean. Do you remember what this guy was?
Yeah, he just had like 3 crutches.
3 crutches, and the crutches are still down.
Yeah.
He's never raised. And are the crutches thick, thin, collapsing, or unknown? Yeah, are the crutches thick,
I thought it
collapsing,
was
or do not
thick.
know?
Didn't he call one of the raises?
He did. Exactly. Yep. So that's what we have. And we haven't seen him limp fold yet. So we don't know that he limp folds and limp raises.
Yeah.
Just haven't enough. But the only thing we've seen him do is open limp and open limp call. We've never seen him
What
open.
if
fold yet.
they open limp, but they limp call and limp fold?
That's going to be then it's going to be mixing. Then that's the thing about their crutches is we don't know what he does. So he has a range that he open limps and a range that he open folds, and that's fine. But we want to know, if when people limp, the things you want to know is, do they limp re-raise? Do they limp call everything? Do they limp fold everything? Or do they limp fold the bad stuff and limp call the good stuff? The stuff that's better. And that's what most limpers do. But We want to know, we've never seen this guy limp call. He always limp folds and all of a sudden he calls, or he limp calls all the time. So we have to adjust our thing. And it's sort of so that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the extremes. Most people who are going to have crutches, their crutches are going to be, they're going to have calls and they're going to have collapses and calls. And those are going to those are just going to be thick collapsed crutches, meaning they do both. That's how we know they do both. Okay. Great. On Tuesday, tomorrow, we are going to look at hands to showdown off of Andy's database and the people's names. And we are going to start doing this. And then if we like it and we want to keep going, we'll add some more characteristics that we get. But right now we've got their open sizes and how their limps respond. And that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we just pick hands to go to showdown. That way we can actually do face up. It really doesn't matter if they go to showdown or not, because we wanted more with my hands because we know it's the same player, so we can start building out those ideas.
That's what I like. I like the fact that it's going to be the same player. Maybe we'll mix. The advantage of mine is that we can see the particular hand and does it fit the thing, but they're changing people. Yours is better. Let's do yours. Okay.
Well, and then we can build out those profiles. So as profiles evolve, we can say, well, this guy is we
can remember it over time, not over a single session. Because my guys, this information is just practice, because all this data goes away the second I go to a new table, because these guys are all anonymous. So we're just practicing the technique. All right.
Scott, I'll have to message you later because I don't know. I should be here Friday. I don't think I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay.
So I can export the hands and send them to you. That way you have them and you'll still have you'll have the data and you guys can go through and
sounds good.
And then I don't know, either send the sample back to me and I can just go through the notes and I said, I know maybe it's kind of selfish because but this is my pool. And like, as we're building these out, I can kind of show and isolate hands after the fact that like, hey, look, we built these profiles out and these are how these profiles work.
Right. Sounds good. Okay. I'm going to try to do this as we step away. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on this. The guy in this position, we've seen him open to 3 and we've seen him open to 2.5. The guy in this position, we've only seen open to 2.5. The guy here, we saw him open to Moose. We saw him open to 3 point MS 3. His open was 3. He was a Moose. The guy here he's the nail. We've seen him open to 2.5 only. The guy here.
No, 3 point. He was raising to 3.5 male.
Oh, this is the male. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good. Okay, good. This guy was this guy was the 3.5, and the exception was that I was in that seat once and opened, so I fucked it up. But yes, this guy. Thank you. This guy opened to 3.5. This guy here, we saw him open limp. By the way, 2 or 3 times like that. We saw him limp call. We haven't seen him limp fold yet, and we also have seen him split his range. And his, because crutch is raised. And when he opened that time, he opened to more than 4. So he did a big old rose raise. And then this guy, we never saw him raise. We only saw him limp, and we saw him limp call. We haven't seen him limp fold yet. Right?
Yes.
That's not bad. If I walk up to you and you're playing a live table and I ask you about each player and you can give me that amount of information, I would be afraid of you. This is almost rounders level shit where he says he raised this thing. If you can tell me that much about every single player at the table, you are fucking killing it. So I think this may be a good idea. Bye.
It'd be nice to see with players like as we get. I mean, I think we could spend some time on this and really build this concept out to, especially really apply to live. I mean, obviously online we're all running HUDs, so we just have this information. We're live, like being able to build out these very specific profiles. We can. And then I mean, we able to save them, and when we can carry these things from room to room or from day to day and player to player.
Yep, that's what we're gonna work on.
And especially that everybody has a computer in their pocket. We all have smartphones.
Yep.
So we can, in our notes or whatever, we can add these whether you use fast roll or whatever, you can now add like the name to their fast roll in their seat in fast roll or whatever you use for notes.
Yep. And then if you want, I can't do it today, but possibly tomorrow or after Friday, if you guys want to talk more about the short stack stuff that I cut you off on, we can. I just didn't want to do it today. So we can revisit the short stack conversation. I just wanted to move on to this today. All right. I will see you guys
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I have a special disdain for short stacks right now, as just because I'm in the run bad right now. So
All right. Fuck the short stacks. See you guys tomorrow.